Hey man, I hope you guys are ready because we got a show full of just straight nonsense, Cole. Like it's all nonsense all the time with this episode of Q and Cole. We gonna talk about that Cam fight. We
Oh
gonna
man.
talk about that Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel beef. We gonna talk about the Browns offseason, the salary cap, and how people already backpedaling off articles that they wrote a month ago. Like, we gonna talk about how Spencer Rattler gets compared to Pat Mahomes. I have an interesting theory on that. Yeah. Oh, you didn't see that?
What?
Yeah. Anonymous Scout compared Spencer Rattler to Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is something. That's something. Let's talk about this Cam fight, man. Let's get the people what they want. Look, last week we gave y'all some anime for those of y'all who like the anime. For those of us who might not be familiar with the anime, there's a different anime that I think all of us like to watch, and that's called Fights on the Internet. Like, we all grew up watching fights. That's one of the best things about the internet, is that our access to random fight videos has skyrocketed since 2005. Like, think of all of the crazy fights that you have no right to know about, no business knowing about, that we get. If this would have happened in 2006, we would have just heard the stories, and the stories wouldn't have done this thing justice. Like, could you imagine hearing about that fight? It was in Birmingham, Alabama, the Harbor fight.
Oh man.
Can you imagine hearing about that before? Could you imagine
get the video?
Could you imagine being in the local community and getting this gossip of that fight, and then not believing the fact that somebody whapped the old lady over the head with a chair? But with today's internet, we get to see it. Okay. And the idea of somebody deciding, you know what, dog? We gonna fight Cam Newton. And Bobati Jones brought up an interesting point. Some credit needs to be given to this idiot who decided to fight Cam Newton, because he somehow motivated multiple people to fight Cam Newton. Like, there is something to be harnessed there. But because, like, dog, ain't nothing nobody can say to me to motivate me to fight Cam Newton. What can anybody say anything to you that would motivate you to fight Cam Newton?
Okay, so
could you imagine?
Let's establish something really quick. Let's just establish something really quick. People got to stop thinking you're supposed to fight everybody, dog. You ain't supposed to fight everybody, man. You are not supposed to fight everybody, dog. It's sometimes the smart thing to do is you just look at somebody and just be like, nah, I can't beat him. Hey, and you just leave that alone. That's all you're supposed to do.
First of all, shout out to the chat. I know they was dying to talk about this fight because we got 3 super chats immediately. Immediately. No, but yeah. Like, here's the thing about Cam Newton, man. Anybody who's seeing Cam Newton on TV says this: that's a big dude. That's a giant man, right? Have you ever seen Cam Newton in person?
I have not seen Cam Newton in person, but Cam Newton has seen one of my tweets and responded to it on video. He has done that.
Hey, bro.
I might be next. I don't know.
Was he mad?
He didn't see.
I gotta hold on, man. I live in Atlanta, dog. Like, I gotta know if I'm being put on a list. Like, can I not go to the airport? Like,
he wasn't particularly perturbed, but he didn't seem particularly enthused.
All right, as long as he ain't put you on that Drew McIntyre. I ain't trying to get headlocked. But here's the thing about Cam, man. We all look at him on TV and go, that's a big dude. We both know multiple people who see a lot of football players on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. Have been up close and personal with a lot of football players, right? And every single one of those people, every single one of those mutuals we have that have seen Cam Newton in person somehow ends up tweeting something along the lines of, hey man, that dude is giant in person. It's not like we think he's short. Like, how big does Cam Newton have to be in person for you to see Cam Newton and be like, damn, he's taller than the television gives him credit for?
This is the thing, man. This is what people forget. It's not like Cam stopped playing football that long ago. You know what I'm saying? He didn't stop playing football that long ago, dog. You remember him running over linebackers.
His thing was he was the best 4-5 short option in NFL history. Who wants it with that guy? Who wants it with that dude? Also, let me tell you something, man. You know what else is insane? Really, what's more insane than fighting Cam Newton is the fact that Cam Newton is that big, has been that big his entire life, and somehow that man knows how to fight. Why does he know how to fight? I don't know what's going down in College Park, dog. But the fact that Cam knows how to fight, like he beat up Tim Tebow at Florida. Like, he knows how. He held his own in that Florida locker room. Yes, that one. Yes, that Florida locker room. That's what Cam held it down. Cam beat up Tim Tebow in that locker room, stole somebody's laptop, and ain't nobody said nothing to him. That's Cam Newton. I feel like we don't understand how insane this is. That man went to JUCO. You don't want it with no. Let me tell you something right now. Huh?
You didn't even bring up what you should have brought up. You didn't bring up what you should have brought up yet. This man was beating up his own teammates on the Carolina Panthers, dog.
He son Josh Norman with a smile.
He beat greatness into Josh Norman. He beat an all-pro season into Josh Norman.
He was beating Josh Norman ass with the smile that you would give in a sermon. He had all his pearly whites out.
Didn't he beat up Kelvin Benjamin too?
He almost beat up Kelvin Benjamin, but then Kelvin Benjamin didn't want it. Kelvin Benjamin went online talking all that garbage about Cam, and then Cam walked up to his face and told Thomas whatever to get out of my face, the linebacker that didn't want it. Nobody wants this with Cam. Nobody wants this with Cam, dog. Why do people want to fight Cam Newton? It is the most, I get it. He's a big target, but that man been a big target his whole life. And apparently y'all been doing this enough that this man knows how to fight. Cam Newton is a 6'6", 250, 5-star from the day he was born quarterback. That man should not know how to fight. But also, that is a man who went to JUCO. And I'm just going to tell you this right now. You want to fight no football player in the NFL that went to JUCO. Nope. You don't want it with any NFL football player. I saw the tweet. Somebody was like, just so y'all know, Russell Wilson will whip your ass too. Like, yes, you don't want it with any of these dudes. Did you ever interact with the athletes at your college campus?
Every once in a while.
Okay, I used to go to the rec, and my friend was on the track team. And he was a scholarship athlete, and we threw that man at the basketball court. And I remember thinking, oh man, there's really people built different out here, because it felt like that man was gliding on that basketball court. And it felt like I was climbing up that basketball court. I was like, I ain't never felt less athletic than I have felt in my life. I also had some people that I knew in college that were on the football team, freshmen. Mm-hmm. You know, one guy, my homie, I'm not going to put him out there. He was all state. Right? He was all state, Ohio. He was really good in high school, not just a pedestrian. He went up against the seniors in practice for the first time. Man came back contemplating his entire career path. And that's just what it's like for a really good high school player to go up against really good college players at the FCS level. Dog, what do you think it's like for you, pedestrian, not even good enough to be on a college football team, not even close to being good enough to be a college athlete, versus Cam? Okay, Cam. Why did? And then my man, did you see the part where he went on the podcast? It was Coppin, please talk about, well, nobody talks about how much Cam Newton was talking to us. You just got to take that, son. That's Cam Newton. What you mean? Oh, man, I'm not allowed to stand up to Cam. You can. It's going to end like it did. And then you're going to be on the radio show trying to cop a plea, talk about how you sympathetic and give back to the community when all we can see is that fat black eye that your homie got on the screen. It ain't about if you was right to fight Cam Newton. It ain't about if Cam Newton was right to fight you. It's about not fighting Cam Newton is the equivalent, a human equivalent to fighting Godzilla. Don't nobody care if Godzilla was in the wrong. Why you trying to fight Godzilla, you idiot? What are you doing? What? And then you think it's about being right or wrong. You fought Godzilla. You stupid. Hey. That's why everybody calling you stupid. You fought Godzilla. Chaos. He put you in a headlock and threw your homeboy with his left hand. And by the way, dude in the white gave him a 2-piece that he would have been more effective punching a brick wall because it did nothing to Cam.
Real quick, because Professor Chaos and Michael Cooper both brought up 2 good points in the chat, and I want to get to these. You see, Professor Chaos said, "Don't be fooled by Cam's hair or his fashion." And Mike said that was a crazy way he ragged on them, and his hat stayed on. And that's the point I want to talk about right now. It was multiple dudes trying to jump Cam Newton. His hat did not move one time at all while he was whooping their ass. That was amazing to me.
Cam Newton got jumped. Cam Newton got jumped and still maintained dress code.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's insane.
I'm sorry. That's absurd. That's absurd.
You should feel so disrespected that this man had a top hat on and you couldn't even do enough damage to even move the top hat a little bit down.
Oh yeah, you know how to be talking like, oh, he got that hair and give you something to grab in a fight. It don't matter. That's Cam. You can't reach it. You couldn't reach the hat. It don't matter if you 6'2". You wasn't reaching it. You was never getting to his chest. Why would you fight Cam Newton? That's stupid. I don't care what I couldn't imagine what Cam Newton would have to say to me. And look, if I fight Cam Newton, he had to say something terrible to me, but I'm definitely not about to be on the radio the next day talk about some, well, you know, he was in the wrong. Look, man, if I fight Cam Newton, it's because I decided the L was worth taking. Like what he said was so bad that I got to do something to prove that this ain't just going to fly by with no consequence. Like that, you just go into that knowing I'm going to take an L, but he going to be inconvenienced slightly. Like, it has to be that serious. Like,
slightly is crazy.
Hey, you got to disincentivize the disrespect, right? If it gets to a certain point, you just can't let it happen. Like, even if you going to lose, you got to disincentivize it. Like, it'll make them think twice. They ain't trying to do that paperwork again. Like, you can't make these licks free. Like, you can't make the licks free after a certain point. Like, okay, you say something about me, you say something about that, but he start hitting on your mama or your wife, you got to do something to disincentivize that kind of disrespect. I don't think that's what happened. I just think the man was getting mad prideful over 7-on-7 because people do that kind of dumb shit at these kind of things and decided, you know what? I'm taking him. It's been 5 years. He's been beating us and talking shit. I'm taking him. I'm tired of him doing them little dances with that hat. I'm going to get him this year. And I pray that he has a woman in his life that is holding that sack of peas to his eyes and telling him how stupid he is, because that's the only way he gonna learn, dog. Like, ain't no way, dog. And if your girl not doing that for you, you need a new one, big dog, because that's crazy. That is crazy what you decided to do. Like, it's insane what you got these children trying to do and help you with. That nah, man. Nah. Fight Cam Newton. Stupid. That's so dumb. That is so dumb.
Just stupid.
That's dumb, man. You know how mad my dad would be if I fought Cam Newton? Yeah, you know what it's like? This like when Earn raced Michael Vick in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
This is Earn racing Mike Vick in Atlanta. Like, really? It's Mike Vick. You thought you stupid. Like, this is the kind of bad decision making that makes people who love you not respect you anymore. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you really? You thought you could beat Cam Newton? You saw this man play football? Like you old enough to see his tapes? And the University of Alabama could have jumped Cam Newton. You thought you could do it. Like you thought you could do.
Remember, that was Bama.
Yeah.
That was in the middle of the
LSU,
run,
right?
Bama.
Yes, it was Odell Beckham LSU, right? Like, did nothing.
If they couldn't get it done, you can't get it done, brother. I'm sorry.
You thought you and your little raggedy 7-on-7 football team was going to do what Nick Saban couldn't? Come on, man. Come on. Are you serious?
Man, go look up that team. Go look up that Alabama team he beat.
Greg, can you look that up while we go through the super chat? My guy, Professor Chaos said Cam Newton is a killer bee from Naruto Code.
I know you want to skip that one immediately.
I'm just wondering what your input is on that because I have nothing.
Listen, I get what he's saying. He's 100% right. 100% right.
I work night and sleep when you go live. I just want to put this out there. Q, watch Violent Evergreen. Y'all, this anime.
And the movie Wolf Children. I think Violet Evergreen might be one. If it is, I haven't watched it. Well, it looks like I got some research to do after this. Got some research to do.
It's a damn shame. I was this close. I was at the gym thinking, I might start watching Avatar. But no, I'm not.
Wait, what happened? You talking about live action or
no. That live action looks terrible. I was I might go check out the Nickelodeon one. It's on like Disney Plus now.
No, it's on Netflix. I actually started. The live action was so bad, I actually started rewatching it. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's 100 times better. It's 100 times better.
Yeah, I might check it out. It's not anime technically. What makes anyone look at Cam Newton and think I'm going to fight him? I don't know.
Being stupid.
I don't know.
Or prideful. Being super.
Hey man, we need less confidence in these streets, dog. Like we got a real 1% thing happening with the confidence where like a lot of people don't have confidence, but some people got way too much confidence and they hoarding it. Like that's the Jeff Bezos of confidence. Like you need to have your confidence democratized to the people because that's just too much to think you could fight Cam Newton. Like we need to redistribute your confidence because you clearly cannot handle such a thing because your confidence let you fight Cam Newton. Cam Newton in Atlanta. And you thought it was just going to go your way. Like, you thought you was about to ride out on Cam Newton like he was 6'9". Like he was like some kind of gimmick. Like he's not NFL MVP, freak of nature. Could low-key still play if he wanted to. Cam Newton. That's crazy. That's crazy. Insane. Come on. You need better friends, bro. Like, Colb, if you let me fight Cam Newton, that'd be the end of this show. All right.
Yeah, go ahead, Q. You got it. You got him, bro. You got him.
I'll look at you like you terrible. Okay. You're not my friend.
Bet you won't be slandering anime on the pod anymore.
Like all this over some anime slander. This wow. I could die. Like, you want me to go fight a Baylor? Like that's just equipment, dog. Like what? Ray Rag says, could you imagine a 3-on-1 fight where one has 2 of the 3 in a headlock and is still fending off the third guy?
Oh.
Only way you could imagine it if I told you it was Cam Newton versus 2 regular dudes. I've seen less competitive squash matches in the WWE than what they did. With like, come on, man. PSA, man. Stop trying to fight these football players. Stop trying to do it. Stop it. Stop. Remember somebody tried to get in a fight with Myles Garrett?
Remember the dude who tried to fight Aaron Donald?
And remember how that ended for that man?
Listen. Stop trying to do it, bro. Stop trying to do it.
I'm just going to tell you this right now. If you're in the audience, if you've ever felt like you could take on an NFL football player and then you shared that information to your friend and your friend said, You know what, man? You work out. You can do it. You have a terrible fucking friend. You need to get better friends. You need to get some friends. Like, I'm not saying you need friends going to be negative to you, but you need friends to tell you no. That's the barometer. Should I fight Cam Newton? Yeah, let's go. All right, dog. Get out of my car. See, look, people are like, oh, that's a ride or die. No. You see, ride or dies can get you to ride or die. Why would I want to die? I got a future. I'm not trying to do that. What you talking about ride or die? I want to ride or be slightly inconvenienced. Like, like we ain't trying to die. What is a ride? No. I'm not trying to get nobody to make no decisions. Go die. You don't do that to nobody you love. Okay. Let's go into a life-threatening situation. Greg, what's up, man?
I just wanted to list off a few of the players that were on that Alabama team that Cam Newton beat. Just a few notable ones. There was Marcel Darius, Julio Jones, Mark Ingram, Dante Hightower, Nico Johnson.
Ooh. If Dante Hightower could stop Cam Newton, let me tell you something. You can't stop Cam.
Hey, dog, this is how good Cam. We need to really talk about how good Cam was in his prime one day, because we forget, man. Cam had a good team in Carolina, not a great team, but a good team, a solid team around him in Carolina, and that was simply enough for us to assume that he would dog walk one of the best defenses we've ever seen in the 2015 Broncos. We were like, yeah, Cam got that. It's gonna come down to the quarterback position.
We were wrong, by the way.
We were wrong on that. We were, but the fact that we had the confidence to predict such a thing tells you how good Cam was at that time. Like, I got news for these Josh Allen people, man. Josh Allen ain't like Cam. Like, it's kind of like Cam. But Cam was, especially before 2016, before he had that shoulder. When he was slanked, Cam was different, man. Cam, it wasn't a long time, but those who saw, no. Okay.
I just want to add put in perspective, since you were talking about, coming down to the quarterback position. The quarterback that year for Alabama was Greg McElroy, who was a 7th round pick. It's not exactly in the same class as Cam.
Yeah. Cam Newton showed up at Auburn. They won the SEC West. Dog. Like, the SEC West.
Bro.
Like, he showed up to a SEC West team. It was like, all they need is me. You heard the podcast. He was choosing between Mississippi State and Clemson and Auburn. And he went to Auburn. And I'm like, he was doing all this reason that they had seniors. I'm like, Cam, you would have went to Mississippi State and we would have talked about that one year Mississippi State won the national championship with Cam Newton. It didn't matter. Okay. We saw the plays they was calling for you in college. Who you had on the field with you truly did not matter. Like,
did he even play with any? Did he play with any other players who went to the NFL or play snaps in the NFL on that offense?
I think Nick Fairley.
On the offense.
On the offense, maybe Michael Dyer. Greg, can you look that up?
I think one of the offensive linemen actually played in the NFL game. Like, one of them actually played in the NFL game.
Cam took a decent college football, a 7-win bowl eligible college football team to the top of the SEC East.
So I got that year Cam was drafted. Every other Auburn player that was drafted was a defensive player, except for a 7th round pick offensive tackle named Lee Zamba. Never heard of this person before.
He had to be the guy. He had to be the guy who actually played.
Wait. Michigan won the national championship this year. They got like 5 first-round picks. And by the way, man, we've been doing this thing where we've not been giving Cam his whole career because Cam did that, and we had to sit through people actually entertaining if Jake Locker and Blaine Gabbert would go number 1 overall versus the dude we just saw do that.
I checked the year after too, the 2012 Auburn draft, and they literally only had one offensive tackle in the 4th round, Brandon Mosley. So,
you know how ass that team was. Two day 3 picks into that's like they didn't even have depth. Like,
Yo.
it didn't even matter, dog. It didn't even matter. That team had Cam Newton. Who coached that to the champion? Was it Gene Chizik? Did Gene Chizik get that free national championship?
let me see.
Shout out to Charles
Yeah,
Barkley.
yeah, it was Gene. Yeah.
Hey, Charles Barkley put it best. Hey, 100,000, 200,000, whatever they paid for it, it was worth it. You know what? That sounds like a good damn deal to me.
Yeah, he only lasted at Auburn until 2012, so he wasn't there much longer after Cam.
Woo. Got my chip.
They got out, boy. And look, they went back to the national championship in 2013. He wasn't the coach. That's how ass that team was, dog. That's how ass they were. Cam won that national championship in 2011, right? They went to the national championship in 2013, and I think Gus Malzahn was the coach.
Yeah, that was him.
And they only got to that national championship because they could get better recruits because people wanted to be like Cam. Like, hey, man.
You gotta start respecting that man, bro.
We gotta stop acting. Look, someone was making a point of like, oh, these kids ain't gonna respect him because he ain't got championships. I'm like, this sounds like bad parenting to me. Like, yeah, stop trying to put this on the kids not respecting him because he don't got national championships. Nah, this because y'all not parenting right. Because your kids don't understand what that man did. Sit that boy down if he disrespected Cam Newton, make him watch it. Okay, it's on YouTube. You can search it up.
That's like disrespecting Melo.
Yeah.
Melo ain't win an NBA championship, so we can't respect him. What? Did you watch Carmelo Anthony in his prime? I'm not talking about New York Melo. I'm talking about Denver Melo. You seen Denver Melo?
Look, there are certain takes that we will hear of our generation and immediately get mad at. Like, if I have a son, if my son starts calling LeBron a merchant or some shit like that, I'm like, nah, you should now watch 2016 finals. All 7 games. All 7 games, son. And we're going to watch them in the same order I watched them in. Yeah, we're going to take 2 days off for travel and shit because you clearly have lost your mind. What? What you been? I'll order ESPN Classic. Like, you better get attuned. Look, that's one thing my dad did. He heard me say some ridiculous shit. He was like, all right, man, you gonna watch the NFL Network. You gonna talk about this. Ain't gonna be out here talking this nonsense. Compare Trent Richardson to Jim Brown. He was furious on that one.
Hey, man, we disrespected Jim so crazy when he was he's a regular running back.
All right. Do we got anything else on this Cam thing? Go ahead.
I just wanted to add real quick because I got it right in front of me. I'm seeing the box score from this Auburn-Alabama game, and I'm wondering if, like, years down the line, people are going to try to use this against Cam. That if you just look at the box score, Greg McElroy's stats look way better. They're
going to try to act like Greg outplayed Cam when he came back for 21.
Yeah, because Cam was 13 for 20 for 216 yards and 3 touchdowns. Greg was 377 yards, 27 of 37 for 2 touchdowns. And Cam didn't even do that much rushing that game. He 40 yards for 1 touchdown. So I could see that maybe in like 10 years they're calling him I don't know, but.
And in 10 years,
they're going to act like
that
he rode the coattails of that Auburn team. Like, no, dog. There's not going to be anybody. Like, when they bring back, that's definitely a class that's hard to do a reunion for because if you don't get Cam, you might as well not do the reunion of that national championship because nobody give a fuck about none of the other players.
That might have been just a Julio Jones providing those stats because in that game he had 200 yards and a touchdown.
You know what it was. It was Greg McElroy. It wasn't him. If it was him, he'd still be playing, not announcing. Like, nah, it was 1000% Julio Jones. And it probably Mark Ingram had something to do with it.
Yeah, Mark Ingram had 91 receiving yards that game.
There it is.
Hey, it's easy to have them yards, but all you got to do is check down. Check down. I'm in trouble. Check down. Ain't like they got any other players like on that Auburn team. We just established it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we do have.
Do you have any stories of somebody trying to fight out their weight class? Like, does anybody have a good? Oh yeah, I remember when somebody tried to fight out their weight class. I have one.
Think for a second.
All right, I'll share mine and tell you. So when I was in college, I had a friend named Logan. Well, no, I shouldn't use real names, but okay, this friend's name was Logan. And Logan was a bit of a troublemaker, man. He was a bit of a troublemaker. He was a good friend, but he was a bit of a troublemaker. Apparently, he got a hold of somebody's hoodie. It was football team issue. He wasn't supposed to have it. Wore that thing to the dining hall. The football team had an issue with it. My friend, being a man of pride, didn't want to back down. But the fight didn't happen there because, they ain't going to fight on campus. They scholarship athletes. Keep in mind, this is a time where YSU was actually trying to get good at football. So we were recruiting players from Florida. And I don't know how much y'all know about FCS football, but if they from South Florida and they end up in Youngstown, it's usually a reason. It's usually a reason. It ain't that different from community college. Well, the school is much different from community college. But how you end up in Youngstown for a football player in the state of Florida is not that different from community college. So we're at a party one day. And, the dudes who think that he stole the hoodie are there. Now, it's worth noting that one of those football players had a gold grill. My friend Logan got tired of them talking shit, took off his Gucci belt, rose it in the air. If you are from the south side of Pittsburgh, you will understand why I'm talking like this. He said, homies, my belt costs more than your fucking face. And my night ended. We had to go. Okay. We had to leave that because he was also a part of the committee of cars. That was my ride. Okay. So we had to go. We left in a hurry. There's other elements that I would share off air, but all I know is that night ended with the gunshot going off and with the car speeding off. And that's when I was like, you know what, dog? No more parties with Logan. All right. He tries to fight out his weight class. And we all got one friend that we know that tries to fight out their weight class. I'm just saying right now, once you realize that is that friend, you don't ever need to go out with them, dog. You don't, because they will look. Ray Rags brings up an interesting point in the super chat. Can you bring it up, Greg?
Yeah, the WCW one.
Yeah. Q, I heard a story on the wrestling podcast where the Big Show was young Big Show that did suplexes and backflips, by the way. Some guy at a bar was messing with him, and Kevin Nash, who's also 6'7" and big, and Show knocked him out. There will always be stupid people. Yes. Don't be a victim of your friend that wants it. Ron Artest. Hey, who was the dude got his jaw broke at the Malice in the Palace? Wasn't even the dude who threw the cup. It was the dude who was the friend of the dude who threw the cup. But he knew he was at fault because he should have known he got a friend that liked to fight out his weight class. And that idiot thought I could fight Ron Artest. Ron Artest. Ron Artest.
Hey, what is it with regular people always trying to fight the professional athletes that other professional athletes intentionally avoid fighting? what is up with regular people always picking those dudes, like them the dudes you try to fight? I never understood that. It's very interesting.
They decided we're gonna start a riot in a with a team that has Ron Artest and Steven Jackson.
And on the other team, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace,
they must have thought they was actually friends with Ben Wallace. They thought, hey, if I get my ass beat, Ben gonna come help me. No, he not. Ben ain't throw a single punch after that fight started. They not fighting for you. Sit down. Okay, don't ever stop this. Okay, look, I hope to God. Will James Jones retire?
Yeah, James Jones retired.
All right, because that was the last one. That look, don't the Miami Heat. I'm probably mispronouncing his name.
You saying James Jones, but I think you're talking about Udonis Haslem.
No, not Udonis Haslem. The black belt.
Is it James? Is it James Jones?
It's close to James Jones.
No, because James Jones is the
Yeah, you're thinking of the Phoenix Suns GM.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
James
Johnson.
Johnson.
James Johnson.
James Johnson. There it is.
Yeah, you don't
There
want it.
James
You don't want it.
Nah.
You don't want it.
Bloodsport?
You don't. You don't want it.
Bloodsport.
You don't want it. Bloodsport is his nickname. My guy Lawrence says, you don't want it. You don't want it. You know what, Colb? After this is done, we got to do a video for my main channel about the Browns that you don't want to fight.
I'm 100% down.
So keep that in the back of your mind. But yeah, man, don't fight these dudes, man. They are well equipped to beat you up. They play football for a living. They take hits that are harder than your punch every day.
Literally.
Don't do it. Don't do it. And don't fight no running backs, man.
Yeah. Hey, if you ever see Clyde Edwards-Helaire, leave that man alone.
Hey,
Leave
let
that man be. Alone.
Let that man be. You won't be the first. Just gonna say that. It won't be a new experience for him. It's documented
for you, but it won't be one for him.
Ain't gonna be a new experience for you. Ain't no experience. Like, you not experiencing nothing. You gotta recollect to experience, Cole. ain't no experience. What you mean? You ain't gonna take away nothing from that encounter, dog. You ain't gonna have no time to ever reflect on that. Just don't do it, okay? Ooh. My guy, Professor Chaos, the clip of Kevin Hart, ain't nobody jumping me. They jumping me?
No, Dad. It's just him.
I wonder how many kids on that 7-on-7 team immediately lost respect for their coach.
You know, it's at least like two of them. At least like two of them. Like,
I know the two 5-stars that he probably had on that team were like, you really fought Cam?
Like, you didn't even get a good hit in or nothing. Like, you just
no, then you ain't going. You better do that. You better do these up downs. Nah, what you gonna do? I'm gonna get Cam on you. I could go to Cam's team. You can talk to him about it. Or you gonna get Cam, huh? He better hope the kids don't find out about that Kevin Hart stand up, man. Like,
man. Oh, he was for a rough.
You go, you gonna get Cam, huh? Okay. Give me that bounce. You play too much.
Oh man!
Cam took mercy on him and still won a jumping. Like, he threw no punches. Did not get his clothes ruffled. Kept his hat, and if he had sunglasses on, they was staying on too.
That's the most hilarious part to me. Still, bro, he had all this gear on, nothing moved.
Oh my God!
That's more embarrassing to get whooped, bro. Like, you couldn't even make his hat move, dog.
You didn't even make this inconvenient. Like, you ain't rip a shirt.
Nothing.
You ain't ruin a shirt. You ain't make him get a new hat. Brother barely sweat. He gonna be on that podcast linked all the way back, smoking a cigar, talking about, yeah, man, you know, it's always people trying to try. Like, he's not even phased. Like, you threw all your power-ups at the boss and you didn't even do a fraction on the health bar. Like, you didn't even get to the second form, dog. You got nowhere close. You had to change the difficulty settings after this, man. You thought you was all expert. Nah, change that shit back to normal. Okay.
You guys hear the coach came out talking about why the fight started?
Yeah, like, we care about why you decided to go fight it. Yeah.
Cam was talking trash and had been talking trash for a while or something like that. He finally had enough, something like that, right?
Yeah, that's what happened, and the coach specifically referred to it as typical Cam behavior.
Hey man, sounds like he was getting his ass beaten them 7-on-7 games. I feel like if he had multiple victories over Cam and Cam was being salty about it, we would have known. Don't seem like he was beating Cam in them 7-on-7 games. I think he got tired of taking them L's.
Hey man.
Hey.
We also got this Soul Train super chat here saying Cam is also a national champ with UF 2-time champ.
Tim Tebow is literally one of the greatest college football players to ever play the game. If Cam Newton would have took his job, it would have took them people in Florida 2 weeks for them to be okay with it. Like the first game against Florida A&M, they would have understood why they made the move. They would have been like, hey, get on that clipboard, Tebow. Yeah, do them hand signs. It is what it is. That's the dude.
We got one more from him saying if Superman / Goku existed, a moron would hit them.
Absolutely. There's 100%. There's 100% somebody who would try to fight Superman, and Superman would be like, "Hey man, like, nah, I'm good. Like, we're not gonna do that." You know?
Yeah, I remember I was at to answer your question about any fight stories, Quincy. Most of mine I couldn't tell on the pod, but the one I will say is I had a friend who was at a party. He was always known for causing trouble. Had a little bit too many drinks in him. And then he just learned that like this other group of people there were all like former Marines. And he just goes, oh, I could take them all at once. And just goes up to them and starts talking shit. And we just had to pull him out and leave. Just this guy is no like fighting experience or anything, by the way, outside of like the occasional street. Like he's not trained in anything. He just thought he could take 4 former Marines at once.
Yeah, he would have died.
Well, then I'm standing there thinking like, oh, well, I'm standing next to this guy. If like, I don't want them to think that I'm in. You know, I'm
because hey, Greg, I'll tell you right now, you made a smart move because military fights work on gang rules. Yeah. All right, like,
hey, that's your boy. That's your boy.
Oh yeah.
No, as far as they were concerned, he was a stranger. No idea who he was.
Oh, and Marines? Hey, no. You got to be a certified psychopath. Like, no disrespect.
Every Marine I know is literally insane. Literally insane.
In shape. Like my dad used to say this. My dad was in the Navy, and he was like, "Hey, look, man, the Marines are crazy. They're psychopaths, and like they might be serial killers that we just kind of kept out of serial killing because we gave them an outlet, but they will always be in shape. I ain't never met no fat Marine." Okay.
Professor, you've seen a lot of fat people in different branches of the military. You will never see a fat Marine.
Professor Ken, it's funny how all these fight stories starts with "I have a friend."
Yeah, we all have a
because
friend.
The people who are smart enough to live are the ones that are smart enough to tell the story about when somebody else did something stupid. The people who do this stupid shit don't be realizing that they doing stupid. Case in point, that man fought Cam Newton and then it went to the radio station and thought we cared about why he fought Cam Newton. Like that was a part of the equation. Brother, you fought Cam Newton. Why is he irrelevant? Like, what are you talking about? Why? Like,
I don't care what the reason was. What are you doing?
Come on, man. If I got beat up by Mike Tyson, nobody's asking me why I felt like I needed to fight Mike Tyson. There's no justification. Like, you still think you could justify this? Like, no. Like that dude who got beat up by Mike Tyson didn't even have a good reason. Just bug Mike. Why? No sympathy for you. Okay? Absolutely no sympathy for you. You fought Mike. We know about Mike.
Yeah, that's one of the ones where like everybody knows we're not messing with Mike. Like,
you gonna fight the dude who's known for being one of the greatest fighters of all time? In a closed space? Like, are you stupid? Like, do you not know that Mike Tyson's whole strength was getting you up close? Like, that's the stupid thing about it. You fought Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson in close quarters. Like the absolute worst place to fight Mike Tyson in close quarters. Ain't nobody, professional boxers wasn't trying to get close to Mike Tyson and fight. What are you doing? Idiots. Stop this. And by the way, if you get in a fight with somebody you clearly like should not get in a fight with, we should really think about like making sure that you go to some classes for the next 5 years, because it's clearly something that needs to be addressed, right? We need to be about rehabilitation in this country more often. And that man needs rehabilitation because he needs therapy. Because I don't know what it was going on in his mind. I don't think he could do that. There ain't nothing, ain't no problem I got going on in my life big enough to make me think I can fight Cam.
Counterpoint. Maybe he really just needs to get his ass whooped. I feel like that's what we need more of as a country.
We got a generation, boy. We got a generation of people.
People just need to get their ass whooped a little bit more. And, you know, we'll be better off. We'll be better off if some people got some ass whoopings every once in a while.
Speaking of people that need an ass whooping, I feel like Johnny Manziel might be on that list too. Brian Hoyer probably feels that way.
Oh man, lead us into this, Greg. What happened with Brian Hoyer and Johnny Manziel this week?
Yeah, so I'm sure most of the people have already seen the interview, but essentially Johnny Manziel came out. It was just talking about how Brian Hoyer was a bad teammate, how he was head of the table and wouldn't help him out in the quarterback room and this and that. And he basically just was going into Brian Hoyer talking about how, you know, he wouldn't help him. He was rude to the other quarterbacks. He had a weird quote where he said, ask who was the undrafted South Carolina, I think it was, quarterback?
Connor Shaw?
Yeah,
Connor Shaw.
He had a quote where he's like, yeah, ask Connor Shaw about it. Which
Connor Shaw was like,
which I thought was weird. And yeah, and Brian Hoyer learned about it through Mac Jones, which I thought was funny. But yeah, that's the setup for it, essentially.
That's the one thing Brian Hoyer don't got going for himself. He revealed that he kick it with Mac Jones, and I don't know why he would volunteer such information.
Yeah, now that I know that him and Mac Jones kick it, I kind of feel like Johnny was probably trying to
I kind of feel like there were no heroes.
Well, in Brian Hoyer's defense, he said he was on vacation at the beach and he got a text from Mac Jones that said it. So
He talking about you.
and Mac Jones said something like
Mac Jones know he was on vacation and it bothered him with this. This is kind of a bad look for Mac Jones as well.
Yeah. And Hoyer said in the tweet, Mac Jones said something like, "Oh, well, this isn't the Brian Hoyer that I know."
Oh, so Mac Jones is a shit starter. It's good to know that. It's good to know that, Mac Jones. But we already knew that about Mac Jones.
I was say maybe that needs to be what the segment about. Mac Jones. It's like Mac Jones is just a nasty dude.
Hey man, I was going back and watching them clips of that Johnny Manziel game, and I was like, there's so many things that are fascinating about that game. Man had 80 yards of passing total, like not even like just gross yards. 80. I don't want to know what his net yards were in that game. Kyle Shanahan was really the offensive coordinator here, man. Like, Kyle Shanahan was really the offensive coordinator here. And we threw that away for Johnny Manziel.
Mm-hmm.
After we saw this game. Like, that's the thing that's crazy about it. We decided to roll with it after this game. I also think it's important to note who Brian Hoyer decided to blame for this whole ordeal. He didn't blame Mike Pettin. He definitely didn't blame Kyle Shanahan. He blamed Jimmy Haslam. And he blamed Ray Farmer.
I feel a rat coming on. Every time you say that name, I just feel a rat coming on.
Ray Farmer might be the worst GM in NFL history.
Might.
I don't know what they was doing in the 70s. But in my lifetime, so walk with me, y'all, on this revelation that I had last night while talking to my friends about this. I was looking at the 2016 draft because we all kind of forgot about the 2016 draft, right? Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Browns had the number 2 pick in the 2016 draft. Now, they traded back the number 2 pick for a bunch of picks, and then they moved back to 9. Okay, cool. By the way, the number 2 pick ends up being Carson Wentz. So you feel about that how you feel. Number 9 pick, they trade back again to get to 19. That number 9 pick ends up being, hilariously enough, Jack Conklin. Now, the reason they trade back that 9th pick is because somehow that thing got finagled into next year's first-round pick for the Tennessee Titans, right? So they picked up a first-round pick for next year, and they'll draft at 19, and they took Corey Coleman. They also took Sean Coleman and 2 other dudes who were bums. But Ray Agnew, who gives a fuck? Who else they drafted? You don't remember them, right? So basically, we traded back for number 2 and ended up with Corey Coleman and nothing. We ended up with nothing in that draft. Okay, cool. But we got the first round pick in 2017, right? So, okay, maybe it's going to bear out in next year's draft, right? We get to that number 12 pick. By the way, it's also worth noting that every pick that they got to in that trade that they traded the second round pick for, even the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, they traded back from even those picks. And that's why the picks were so shitty in 2016. But it's going to pay off, right, Cole? It's going to pay off. 2017 draft comes around. We got the 12th pick. It paid off. Okay, we going to get Myles Garrett. And you know what I was thinking? What were you thinking in 2017, man? Because I was thinking we going to get Myles Garrett. And you know what? We going to get Deshaun Watson. We go.
I'm not going to lie. I was like, we either go get Deshaun, but it's the Browns. So they go pick the quarterback that I don't know nothing about, which means they go pick Patrick Mahomes. That's what I thought.
And we was kind of nervous about that, right? And look, we tend to do this where we get mad that the Browns didn't take great players like Travis Kelce wanted to be a Brown, and we get mad that Travis Kelce didn't end up being a Brown. I'm going to go to a different direction. Thank God Travis Kelce didn't become a Brown. That man wouldn't be dating Taylor Swift, okay? If he got drafted here. Thank God they didn't let your dreams come true, Travis. Thank God.
Jason
mm-hmm.
Jason might have been all right. Jason might have been all right because he usually had good offensive lines.
Jason would have got paid. He would have had a less fulfilling career, but you know what? He would have still been all right. But what Hugh Jackson going to do with Travis Kelce? Bench him for Terrell Pryor or some shit. Okay? Like, nah. This the dude who didn't let Nick Chubb play football, man. Remember that? He had Nick Chubb to fire him.
Snap count. He had him on a snap count. Remember the game where he had like 3 snaps and he had like 120 yards or something stupid.
And they lost that game, Cole.
Oh, I hate Hugh Jackson and Ray Farmer so fucking much, man. Oh my God.
And they lost that game. Horrible.
We've come so far.
All right. So I ain't even done going through that. So we trade that pick, right? So we think we're going to get Deshaun Watson, Myles Garrett. We're going to reset the franchise. And boy, would we have reset the franchise if we had also fired Hugh Jackson and Sashi Brown. But that's another story for another day. We get Myles Garrett. Good. We could have fucked that up. We get Myles Garrett. 12th pick comes around. Why take Deshaun Watson when we could trade back, swing around at 40, and get Deshaun Kaiser? It's the same name, right? How'd that go?
Kaiser was the Miles year?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Kaiser being available in the second round was part of the reason we traded back.
No.
Yes.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
Greg, give Cope the news.
It's true.
No.
And if I could also just add one thing to that, there was no quarterback competition that year. Hugh Jackman just immediately was all in on Deshaun Kaiser being the starter with no questions asked.
They cut Brock Osweiler to make sure that nobody had these thoughts. Yeah, Cope. Yeah.
They also had Cody Kessler and Kevin Hogan in the quarterback. Literally just no veterans in the quarterback room. All like first, second year
guess
players.
who the best quarterback was that year? Kevin Hogan. The crowd cheered when Kevin Hogan entered the game. That's how bad it was. Yes, Deshaun Kaiser. We said no. Hey, you know what the ultimate irony is? We did get Denzel Ward out of it. We did, but you know what? We traded back all the first round picks just to have to trade 3 first round picks to get Deshaun Watson, anyways, when he was older and much more controversial. Yeah. Just draft the good players, man. Look. We're not about to talk about the draft right now, but I'm just going to say this right now. I know we're supposed to be talking about this Johnny Brian Hoyer beef, but Browns, just NFL teams in general, just draft a good player. I saw this shit about Brock Bowers' rookie contract benefit and how it's not beneficial to draft him in the top 10. And I'm just like, just if you think he good, draft him. What did we get out of Julio Jones? What did we get out of trading? We traded back in 2014 just to trade up 2 times to get Johnny Manziel and Justin Gilbert. Just draft the good player. If there's a good player there that you feel great, just draft the fucking good player. Just draft them, especially in the top 10. Just draft the good player. Just draft the good player, man. Don't get cute. Just draft the good player. But yeah, Johnny Manziel. Look, I'm going to be honest with Johnny. Were Brian Hoyer in that quarterback room not helpful for him? Yeah, 100%. I bet he's telling the truth on that front. I'm pretty sure they weren't friendly with him. I'm pretty sure they actively disliked him. Were they without calls?
And to be fair, because I did watch some of that interview. I thought that Johnny was being very open and he was holding himself very accountable finally for everything that went down in Cleveland.
Nah. You don't forgot. That's the Johnny trick, man. I'm sorry. Remember he used to do this shit every offseason. He'd come back from rehab. We really was talking about a starting quarterback coming back from rehab.
Man, this team has put us through a lot, man.
But he would come back from rehab and he would talk about how he learned about accountability and how he's going to be more responsible. And then we hear about this motherfucker skipping practice to be in Las Vegas to go to Hawkinson's with the fake mustache, Cole. Or we hear about him lying about not being at a party drinking when the New Future playing. By the way, chose the wrong song to go because March Madness, still a classic to this day. Still in rotation. Chose an absolute bad song to break protocol on. All time worst. But remember, he gave us a speech before that party. He gave us a speech after that party. Did it ever stop? He gonna get in a Twitter rant in like 3 weeks and talk about how shitty the city of Cleveland is. We know what it is with Johnny, man. I'm not buying the act no more, dog. Like, how many times has he come out here in his little suit and tie and talked about how he's learned something and how he's better off, and then he does some Johnny shit. That man Johnny football, and that's okay. Now that he's not playing football, but we ain't gotta act like Johnny was out here being retrospective. He called himself Johnny Football. Like,
people can't grow, Q. People can't grow. They can't change after years.
Has he actually showed you enough growth in the last 5 years to make you think that man has tangibly changed?
I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I have no idea what Johnny's been doing.
It was like a year ago he was actively antagonizing the city of Cleveland for no reason. Like it's not a man who's demonstrated a path of change and he not in like schools teaching kids how to be better with their choices. He just pulled his shit out when he could get an interview so he could get some interview money from a documentary. Like, come on, man. Nah, I done seen the Johnny Griff, man. The Johnny Griff, the Hugh Jackson Griff, I done seen it, dog. I'm over Griffs. Look, if there's something that the 2014 to 2018 Browns have taught me, it's how to spot a fucking scam. Okay? Like, you notice, I've been on them scams. Like, every time a scam is there, I'm the first one to be like, that's a scam. Why? Because I lived it. I bought the scam, right? I got scammed. I know how they be working, dog. Nah. Hugh Jackson scammed me. I'm not about to get scammed again, and I'm not about to let somebody get scammed. Cole, don't you get scammed by no Johnny. Talking about he changed.
He can't scam me, dog. This man has no impact on my life whatsoever. I'm like, oh, look at Johnny. Good for him.
Come on.
That's it. Come
on, man.
I try to see the best in people. I do. I try.
Say something nice about Dak Prescott right now.
He had a very great season this past season.
Yeah, you tried. You tried. See the best in people.
We do have some relevant super chats on the topic here.
Let's get it.
Mike C. Rodriguez said, "Covered Manziel at A&M when I was in school there, and that dude since those days is a grade A punk. Got stories for days of what I saw off the record."
And we might need to get Mike on the pod one time.
Not the pod. Mike gonna have to hit us on Twitter and them DMs. I hope you got Twitter blue. Okay. If you send the group message to us, we will accept. Okay. We want the stories. We want the dirt. Okay.
I will say I can't give many details, but I do have a friend who worked very closely with Johnny Manziel when he was in Cleveland, and he's never had anything nice to say about that guy.
I can imagine.
Moving on, Soul Train says Mike McDaniel was also on that coaching staff.
You know what's interesting? If you look at the coaching staffs for past Browns teams that were awful, it's a lot of good coaches on those staffs, man. It's a lot of good coaches, a lot of future head NFL coaches on those staffs.
You ever wonder, like, how did Mike Pettin get Kyle Shanahan to be his offensive coordinator?
All the time.
I think about it every now and again.
Because they have never interacted again. It's not like if Kyle Shanahan is shorthanded on defensive people, he's like, let me give you in my boy, Mike Pettin. It's never happened. Like, how did that happen?
Mike probably told him, like, hey, man, you can do the whole offense is yours. I'm going to get involved in that. It's completely on you.
Well,
and
here was the crazy
like,
part.
ooh.
Mike Pettin's hire was only justifiable because you were getting Kyle Shanahan.
Mm-hmm.
And the hope was that you just get rid of Mike Pettin and just hire Kyle Shanahan because he was a hot prospect at that time. He had to get Matt Ryan the MVP to get a job because of what the Browns did to him.
That's crazy.
That man ain't never coming back to Cleveland. And then he lost, okay, to the Browns this year. That man hate Cleveland. I know that hurt. I know he was waiting. I know Kyle Shanahan was ready. The first time he been back, yeah, they done ruined my life. I'm about to get them boys. And they got you with PJ Walker.
PJ Walker.
I know he was I know he was hot in that locker room, man. I know he was hot. Oh my God. Can you imagine they put you through all that pain and then they beat you because they are a significantly better version of themselves than they ever had the potential to be while you were there?
Man.
Now he does have the ass whooping they gave us in San Francisco. But I imagine that Cleveland one would have tasted a little sweeter to him. But
do you guys remember when that video came out of 2014 when Mike Pettin goes up to Kyle Shanahan on the sidelines and goes like, "Oh, I'm thinking about a run here," and Kyle Shanahan just kind of like gives him a dirty look and doesn't say anything, and Mike Pettin goes, "All right, fine, I trust you." It was a very awkward interaction.
Yeah, that sounds like it went exactly how I imagined it.
It sounds like a man who knows he's more qualified than his boss.
But these super chats keep going here. We got Professor Chaos. I was at the Browns Raider game with Nick Chubb and was so angry that we lost in overtime.
Yeah, because that was the game where they clearly got a first down that would have won the game, but the rest didn't give it to us, and then they ended up losing.
Hey, man, I wonder if we would have to measure if we just gave the ball to Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
You ever wonder that? Like, maybe Duke Johnson didn't get that extra half a yard. Maybe the best broken tackle machine in like recent NFL history. Maybe that dude in his prime. Maybe he gets that extra half a yard. I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows?
I remember that game pretty well too because that was the week after the Jets game where Baker started. And I remember thinking like, oh, we might have a guy. And then Baker kind of was not very good in that Raiders game at all.
Well, he was pretty good at the beginning of it.
Yeah. I think he was like 20 for 40 or so. I mean, he shouldn't have passed 40 times either. But
it was a precursor of things to come.
Yeah.
It was a great half of football.
And
it was a very questionable second half. And we should have known that was a precursor of things to come, man, because it absolutely was.
We got another super chat from Ray Rags here. I get why you picked Corey Coleman. He had 20 touchdowns his last year, but 2017 was almost unforgivable. They really could have had Miles, Watson, and TJ Watt in the same draft. At least Njoku has finally worked out.
Yeah, the Njoku pick was the one that it finally turned around. So that's nice, at least. That's nice.
But you know what it took? It took some real coaches and a GM to actually get that figured out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did Njoku take 6 years to get good? Because he only had 3 of them with the actual coach. Like, he was only getting developed for the second Kevin Stefanski gets here, all of a sudden David Njoku can block. Like, literally, the second he gets here, we're like, oh man, he could block. He had 41 yards in 5 games in 2019. Like, yes. By the way, yes, Corey Coleman had 20 touchdowns, but Corey Coleman couldn't run no routes on the route tree. I feel like we should have knew that before we drafted him.
We got no from Ray Rags here. Cole, Chubb had 3 for 105 and 2 touchdowns. That game was the Raiders game where the ref said the Browns were short on 4th and 1.
Exactly. It was clearly at first. It was the game they should have won. 3 touches, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. And
if he would have got 4 touches, we wouldn't even be talking about it clearly being a first out. It would have came down to that. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, and 105 yards.
That's insane.
In 3
who was starting over him?
Carlos Hyde.
Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson.
Yeah, man. He was terrible.
We had to trade Carlos Hyde to finally get Nick Chubb some playing time. Nick Chubb did that and didn't get the ball next week.
I remember that.
Yes. This is the idiot. Like, man, I don't like calling people idiots. I take that back. But
no,
that's mean.
Come on.
I'm not gonna be mean.
Is it?
It's fair, but it's mean. Okay. Like,
talk about
I want to be mean-spirited. I want to be mean-spirited and insult people's intelligence.
105 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that player don't play the next week, and we're not supposed to call that man an idiot.
He was returning kicks. Not even returning kicks. He was blocking on kick punt.
That next game was that Ravens game where everybody scored like 9 points. They really could have used some offense in that.
Yeah. He's an idiot, dog. He's an idiot.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to do with that.
Oh, I got the box score here. The Browns only put up 12 points in that Ravens game, yet Baker threw 43 passes for 350 yards. That just doesn't make sense.
It was a precursor of things to come. It's amazing what you miss when it's early, and you could write it off with, he'll get better. Like, and look, this is why I'm not so like, hey, Bryce Young go get better. I don't know. Sometimes these things are just signs of what's to come.
We got one more super chat here, and then we're all caught up. Browns are allergic to drafting elite defensive tackles and linebackers.
I disagree. JOK is pretty good.
The Browns are good at drafting good linebackers. Elite linebackers, but nobody's really good at drafting elite linebackers. But like the one thing about the Browns, they'll keep a pretty decent linebacker around, right? Christian Kirksey, DeQuell Jackson, before that Sean Thompson with the C, before that Andrea Davis, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, look, the one thing the Browns got, they always got themselves a very Joe Schobert. You know what I mean? Like,
hey man, when they moved Joe to the middle, he's pretty all right.
They always want to have a linebacker be in the top 5 in total tackles. Right? Like they good at that. For whatever reason, that's the one thing that they could draft. You know what they couldn't draft? Edge rushers. Browns had 2 10 sack guys before Myles Garrett came.
Listen, they might be a little bit better at it now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they're better at it. They just got Myles Garrett.
I like Alex Wright. I think
Alex Wright's cool, you know. But let's be honest here. We have a different outlook on it because we got Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Alex Wright had to hold it down, we might not feel the same about that. But he don't gotta hold it down. Yeah.
Secondary,
He ain't even secondary. Third, like
he might be secondary now. He might be
splitting with Obo, Look, yeah. Oh, they got a tag team on that one side. We got Miles. Like, I don't know if they could draft edges, but when you draft Myles Garrett, it kind of don't matter no more.
Big Kev is adding here. Browns have only had one Pro Bowl defensive tackle since 1999.
Yeah, man. Who's that?
Was that Atiyah Rubin?
I'm gonna look that up right now.
Had to be Sean Rogers.
Sean Rogers didn't make the Pro Bowl when he was with the Browns. He made it when he was with the Lions. It's got to be Atiyah Rubin.
Atiyah Rubin, man, it's a name I haven't heard in a while.
He was solid.
He was solid. He was actually pretty good.
Really good player.
But. And while I'm looking at that, I'll also just add another super chat from Ray Rags. Carlos Hyde was 22 for 82 and 1 touchdown, and Hugh said, "Yes, give me more of that. We don't need the dude who had 105 and 3."
Yeah, he's an idiot. I can't. I can't. I'm not holding that back. He's an idiot. I'm glad he's gone.
I will say,
hey man, there's somebody at Grambling that really got robbed. Like there is some superstar on the bench at Grambling that really didn't get the shine that they deserve, because that man really just was like, nah, I got this super alien 24, but I'm just gonna run these two regular running backs instead of him. When he was coaching for his job at that point, Colb, you think he would just put in anybody as long as they was good?
Listen, you know why he didn't, Q? You know why he didn't.
Hey man, that's crazy.
I will say it was Atiyah Rubin in 2008. He was in the Pro Bowl.
All right, Atiyah Rubin.
Yes.
Oh, and then Big Kev says only 3 linebackers have made the Pro Bowl with the Browns since '99.
Hey, dog, that's a good number for this franchise since '99. I'm sorry. We got like 4 Pro Bowlers since '99, from '99 to 2018. Hey.
JOK, one of them, baby.
Hey, that's a good number. 3? Jameer Miller was our only Pro Bowler until we drafted Joe Thomas. That was a thing for a while.
How many Pro Bowlers did we have this past season? I feel like we had a decent amount, right? 6 or 7?
Miles, JOK,
Denzel,
David Njoku, Amari Cooper.
Made it.
Okay, that's 5.
Did Joel? Joel had
Joel made it.
And then Wyatt.
He was, I think he was an alternate that eventually made it in, if I remember correctly.
That counts.
7.
That counts. That's 7.
Yeah, I never in my wildest dreams would have ever thought I'd see a Browns team with 7 Pro Bowlers growing up.
The Browns are good, man. Like, the Browns are good. I don't know what to tell people. Like, they're really good. They're really. If guys would have stayed healthy, you could probably argue they probably would have had more Pro Bowlers if some guys could have finished the season.
Yeah, I think Grant Delpit was definitely on that path, but the injuries got him.
Yeah. This is a good roster. I don't know. Like people are like, oh my God, or the Browns are trying, like they're going to be able to retain their roster and they can do that. They're going to be really good if they can add people on top of it. Oh yeah. Like imagine they add like Mike Williams, DJ Reader.
Listen,
maybe another linebacker.
I don't have sources. But the people in our comments complaining about defensive tackles, you might be happy this offseason.
That's crazy if it happens.
No, I don't have sources. I do not have sources, but you might get what you're looking for at some point this offseason.
All right, we got to talk about this nonsense that I saw on my timeline. I'm going to try to pull up.
What kind of nonsense?
No, it's well, I got to do system settings and everything, so this is not going to happen the way I wanted it to. But basically, there is a tweet out there that an anonymous scout. Colb, have you not seen this?
Oh, you talking about, is this the Spencer Rattler thing?
The QB in this draft who was closest to Patrick Mahomes is Spencer Rattler. Former NFL scout Daniel Kelly on the top prospects in the 2024 draft. My man put a name on it. Let me search Daniel Kelly. Like, I got to see what tree that man came from, because there is an element about this comp that we got to talk about. And look, man, people get on us when we talk about this, but it ain't what they think. This is just laziness. Like, this is just so unbelievably, like, it's so lazy. I find it hard to believe it's racist or colorism. Like, it's just like, wow, you literally just picked the dude you feel like resembles Pat Mahomes. That's it. That's all the work that went into it. Because there's no way you watch Spencer Rattler and think he's anything like Patrick Mahomes.
Is Spencer Rattler? I thought Spencer Rattler was a full-blooded white man. Is that not true?
No,
is that not
Spencer
true?
Rattler's not. Have you ever seen a picture of Spencer Rattler without his helmet on?
No, I have not.
Google that. Google that, Cole. That's worth the reaction.
Is it worth the reaction?
Yes.
Is it worth the reaction?
Yes.
Let me see. Was I tripping?
Hey man, your barometer is off, big dog.
Like I've never looked at this man. Oh, so
yeah, he got the Blake Griffin going. Like what?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah,
Like
he 100% got the Blake Griffin going. And Pete, when he said, "Nah, he melanated." Yes, he is absolutely melanated. I apologize, person. I did not know.
My man got a humble EST tattoo on his bicep. Come on.
See, I know nothing about that. I was like, oh, okay, I see it now. My fault.
Yeah, your barometer needs to go in for a tune-up, bro. Like
that was bad. That was bad.
See, look, you did the same thing that Scout did. You heard Spencer Rattler and just
I apologize. That's on me.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, man.
I compare him to Mahomes, though.
Hey. We might have to apologize to this guy. Hey, look, man. I thought Logan Wilson had an ancestor in here for the longest because I only saw that man with his helmet on.
Logan Wilson?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, he got it, because he looked kind of tan out there in the pads.
Hey, he looked kind of tan. Hey, that might be a good that might be a good question. Good question for the chat. Hey, in the comments, let us know when your barometer was a little off.
Hey, look, another barometer being off moment. George's Niang.
No, I knew that one. Basketball's a little different because you can actually see them.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be like, oh, it's like, okay.
Hey, let me tell you something. When I saw his dad tweet something, I was like, oh, a lot of things make sense now.
Were you shocked when you saw it?
Hey, the brother lost. The brother lost. Hey, hey, you are your mama's child. It be hard, man. They be in the sun, so they get a tan. Some of them got tattoos. It's hard to tell at that point, man. Like it could be anybody in those uniforms. Like you can't tell. But yeah, man. That was the barometer was off, man. Because I can't imagine you've ever watched that much of Spencer Rattler. Like you didn't.
Come on, man. Let's be real.
You didn't watch any of that year in Oklahoma because he had his helmet off a lot.
I wasn't breaking down the Spencer Rattler film. Absolutely not. Other things I needed to worry about.
But okay, now that you've seen the picture of Spencer Rattler, you do understand why I'm calling that comp incredibly lazy.
Oh, extremely lazy. Extremely lazy. He literally just looked like him. That's
They don't even look alike. They just you can make the argument that they kind of.
Oh man, that's bad.
It's
that's bad. They say Spencer Rattler's QB1. He's gonna be the next Mahomes.
That's nuts. That's nuts. In a draft class, mind you, that has Caleb Williams and Drake May.
Yeah, it's one of the bro. You wouldn't even rank him above Jaden Daniels. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Why are we even talking about Spencer Rattler compared to the Pat Mahomes? Like, we know he not gonna go day one. We know he not gonna. Why are we doing this to the man? Like, I feel like we just getting this man's hopes up. He had a good Senior Bowl. You know, he was solid at the Senior Bowl. But you know what I never once thought watching him at the Senior Bowl? Boy, he reminds me of Mahomes. You know what I was thinking?
I was about to say, what did you think when you saw him at the Senior Bowl? What did you think?
Kind of plays like Brock Purdy. You know, got that DTRs type game, you know, needs to be in the timing off. See, man, look, man, laziness be kicking people's ass when it comes to these draft comps. Like, don't it? Like, it's like some people put themselves in a box to where they force themselves to be lazy. Like CJ Stroud was a perfect example of that. I always comp CJ Stroud to Justin Herbert because like they're similar players. They play the game similarly. Oh, you're stupid, Quincy. He reminds me of Deshaun Watson. No, he don't. What? I used to comp Joe Burrow to Deshaun Watson. They play very similar styles. Oh, that's stupid, Quincy. Joe Burrow reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. Explain that.
Not at all.
Explain that. Explain that.
Not even a little bit.
You just found the most athletic white dude that popped up in your head and then comped him to Joe Burrow, right? Like, that's what happened. That's what happened. Somehow Daniel Jones got comped to Eli Manning. The only thing about Daniel Jones is that he can run. We never dreamed of Eli Manning running no damn 75-yard touchdown. How did they get comped? How did they get comped? Laziness be kicking their ass. It ain't that these draft comps gotta be bad. It's that these be lazy about it. Like they know the right answer. Well, not even know the right answer. They know what's an acceptable answer, and they choose laziness.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, compare Spencer Rattler to Brock Purdy, you're not gonna get no clicks.
Hey.
If you compare him to Patrick Mahomes, we're gonna click on that. We're gonna look at that. You know
crazy thing is that should get clicks because if I'm saying that Spencer Rattler could be Brock Purdy, that's equally ridiculous. Like that is ridiculous.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It is.
We don't even got to do this bad, man. Like why do we do this?
Perfect example. I can't think of the dude's name I saw on Twitter who said that Drake May just reminds him of
Mitchell Trubisky, didn't he?
No, he said Mason Rudolph. And I was like, and I guess the dude is like a former NFL quarterback or something.
Kurt Benkert is who it was.
Yeah. And he said,
"Oh no,
Mason
my boy
Rudolph.
been getting flamed." Oh.
And I'm like, what? I think how? How did you get Mason Rudolph?
I have his whole statement right here.
All right,
just finished my Drake May review. He's a more athletic Mason Rudolph with less arm talent and a lot less accuracy. He has a lot of backyard football in his game, but doesn't have the athletic upside I think it requires to live in that world as often as he does. And then he says more, but that's basically the gist of it.
He's just wrong. Like like everything he said was wrong. Everything. like everything.
Mason Rudolph.
More athletic Mason Rudolph with less arm talent? Like, come on, dog. Come on, bro.
Which is crazy because this is an NFL quarterback saying this. Former NFL quarterback.
Yeah, man. People been on his ass because apparently he did a film breakdown off highlights. Like on Jaden Daniels. Hey, look, I understand the content crunch is hard in February, but you got to try a little harder than that, bro. Like, I'm empathetic to the struggle, but brother,
nobody's that empathetic.
I know it's hard to get college all 22, but there's other things you can do, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just man.
Spencer Rattler. Like that's an all-time bad one. That's all. Look, there's probably a lot of Drake May, Mitchell Trubisky comps. I've seen quarterbacks get comp to other quarterbacks simply because they have similar equipment. Like, you know, they wear the same face mask. They wear the same style of uniform. I see it. Sometimes all it takes is a fucking jersey number, Colb.
Yep.
All it takes.
Or where they went to school.
Mm-hmm.
All it takes.
Yep. All it takes, man. Or maybe they got the same height. We really why do we look for physical similarities for player cops? You don't have to do this. Play styles come in different shapes and styles. You can comp a 6'5" guy, but see here, look, when you do some shit like that and you comp a 6'5" guy to somebody who's 6 foot, some asshole in the comment section is gonna be like, you're really comping somebody who's 5 inches shorter. He looks physically nothing like this guy. And I'm like, I'm comparing the play style.
It's funny you say that because I have it right here. Drake May and Mason Rudolph are almost the exact same height and weight. It's off by like a few pounds.
Let me search something real quick. Drake May. I'm gonna look at Drake May's equipment. Okay, he wears the Shutt F7. Now, Mason Rudolph better have a Riddell law. He better have a Riddell law because okay, he got a Riddell law. At least we ain't doing that. Okay. Mate, he thought of the
double check. You had to double check.
Nah, man. Comparing him to Mason Rudolph, like he was just looking for a white man to compare him to. Like he ran out of white dudes. He ran out of white dudes. That's the only thing. Like he was like, nah, man. He could have compared him to CJ Stroud. It's obviously there. There's so many cops he could have gone with. There are so many cops he could have gone with.
They both have really square heads, I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm. Look, man, that man didn't think about that. We thinking about this more than he thought about it. Like, was that Kirk Benkert that said that?
Yes.
He ran out of white dudes. Like, I'm convinced that's what happened. Because Mason Rudolph is like, what? Like, you basically had to do the comp. You basically have to say, this dude's an entirely different player than Mason Rudolph, but he reminds me of Mason Rudolph. Like, he's Mason Rudolph with more speed and less arm talent. What the fuck is the comp? like, it's like if I comp Caleb Williams, like, yeah, he's like Cam Newton with less height and less strength, but more arm talent. What the fuck did I just compare?
So he's not Cam Newton.
So he's not Cam Newton.
Oh man.
My.
He's in his initial tweet, you know, he says he's more athletic Mason Rudolph with less arm talent. But then somebody in the replies posted a video of Drake May, like just throwing some crazy like deep balls or whatever. And Kurt responded saying, yeah, he can throw far, but his release is slow. And that's all he said.
He's just saying shit. He's just saying shit. Yeah, he's just saying shit. Yeah, that's him just hoping the fact that he's a former NFL player, it scares you off of like challenging him on that point. Like sometimes
that's a horrible thought process because people challenge former players all the time on all their takes in every sport, all of them.
Yeah. Like he's hoping that nobody challenges his authority on this, but this is not the space for that.
On Twitter? Good luck, brother. Good luck.
To face disabler say he's just like Myles Garrett, but less athletic. Like,
so
he's a smaller but less athletic version of Myles Garrett. So he's not Myles Garrett.
Okay. Moving on.
Yeah, I've learned that through my job being around.
You know who would have legitimately been a better cop? He's like what you could have said this, and people would have bought it. He's what we thought Kenny Pickett should be. Boom, bam, boom. A good athlete, better throwing the football. Everything that Kenny Pickett is times like 3. That makes more sense. Like, you could have picked the different white dude on the team. Why did you pick that dude? Like, he was about to say Joe Flacco, dog. He was 2 seconds away from saying Joe Flacco. Like,
hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my mic fixed up, but I mean my my camera fixed up. Y'all could keep going. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right. Keep going.
Yeah, well, you're figuring that out. We could catch up with these other super chats here real quick. Rayrag said the Browns website says Sean Rogers made 3 Pro Bowls with the Browns from 2008 to 2010. But Pro Football Reference said it was only once in 2008. I don't know.
Did he?
I felt like Sean did.
I thought he did too, but
I mean, hey, we got one. You know what I'm saying?
Faces
Is
Saber
there a
said
world we can draft Rome Odunze? No. There's no world we can get him. We're never gonna have an opportunity to draft him. He's probably gonna be the 3rd wide receiver taken. Because I'm assuming it's gonna be Marvin Harrison and then Neighbors and then Rome. Yeah, if you're looking for a receiver the Browns are gonna draft, you got to start thinking about some dudes who are actually gonna be there in the 2nd round. Like Malachi Corley's gonna be there in the 2nd round, I'm pretty sure. And who's the guy from Michigan that everybody likes? Well, Roman Wilson, he might be there. And I'm trying to see. I mean, if Troy Franklin fell down to 54, that's who I would take. But that's just me. We'll get Q's thoughts on that when he figure out whatever's going on.
we also got from Autistic Kid. He's Saquon Barkley, but he catches and plays linebacker.
Hey, man.
In times like this, I like to bring back the Steph Curry with a jump shot. No, the Lonzo Ball. When Lonzo Ball is Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. This is nuts. We did not anticipate Spencer Rattler getting copped to Pat Mahomes. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Just since we're catching up, we got one last super chat to catch up with from Professor Chaos. Do you guys think the wide receiver we get is D-Hop this offseason?
It could
No.
be.
I don't think it's D-Hop, actually.
You think it's Mike Williams?
It could be Mike Williams. I'll put it like that. It could be Mike Williams.
Yeah, we'll see. But if they trade him, then I don't know if the Browns going to give up an asset for him. But I think it's probably Mike.
It'll probably be Mike. Maybe
if Mike hits free agency, I'm pretty sure he would want to come here.
Yeah, he would definitely. If Mike hits free agency, 100% is going to come here. 100%. I will also throw out, might not be the only former Clemson player who's going to come here.
You thinking Hunter?
You
thinking Renfro?
No.
With defensive?
Different Clemson player. Not going to say who.
I mean, he's not a wide receiver, is he?
No.
I was about to say, don't come on here with this foolishness.
No. Mike Williams is the only former Clemson receiver.
Is he offense or defense?
Defense.
D-Tech? Okay. Yeah, it could happen.
Don't have sources. Do not have sources.
That could happen.
Oh yeah, Q. I think you missed the super chat we were talking about. Could the Browns? Is there a world where the Browns could draft Rome Odunze?
No.
Okay. Just wanted you to fill in on that one.
You mean the first round draft pick? No.
He's gonna be third. He's gonna be the 3rd wide receiver off the board.
I'm telling you right now, the Browns the Browns don't think that's where they need to throw a bunch of resources at.
What, receiver? No.
Yeah. They're gonna give somebody that little 12 over 2 with incentives. Okay. And call it a day. Okay. They are firmly in the Mike Williams, Allen Robinson. Let's give them a year or two. Class of we might need an extra body at wide receiver. What's Nelson Aguilar doing? Type vibes. Okay. Odell want to come back?
Hollywood Brown trying to make a little money.
Nah,
we
don't need that. We don't need nothing
something like that. Something like
what
that.
We need another Elijah Moore for. We need another dude that we gonna get mad at for not running end of rounds right. Like, come on. We do not need another itty bitty dude. We got enough, man. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I forgot Elijah Moore is on the team.
Yeah, dog. And 600 yards. That's what Hollywood Brown going to do on this team. Like, nah. We good on Hollywood. I'm good on Hollywood. I seen his tapes at Baltimore. We used to call him Boo Boo Brown when he was here. We don't want him.
Hey, let's be real. We came up with rude nicknames for a lot of players on division.
No, we only came up with the rude players that we knew we could ride on, though. Like, we weren't talking this kind of shit about well, we did say something about Juju Smith-Schuster. Boo Smith-Schuster, yes. We weren't saying this about Antonio Brown. We had no such nicknames for the real. Hey, with all the stuff we wanted to call Ben Roethlisberger, but on this podcast, we still call him Ben. Okay. Everything else was coping, right? Like, the ones that were great. Hey, we got a disrespectful nickname for Lamar.
We like Lamar personally.
Yeah.
So no, we like Lamar personally. So
hey, we like Joe Burrow personally, but we don't got that same fear. Okay. Like,
well, that's because Lamar always kills us, and Joe never beats us.
And Joe ain't a worry. Like,
does Kenny Pickett have a nickname?
He's not good enough to have such an honor. Like, you got to get past your rookie contract for us to care.
Yeah, we really just call Kenny ass.
We just make fun of the people who think Kenny Pickett's good because we know what that's like to be on that side. That's Schadenfreude, right? Like, we just get that Schadenfreude from watching Pittsburgh fans live that life. I was talking about Fred, he a Pittsburgh fan. He's like, yeah, man, it's kind of weird seeing our players go other places and be good. I'm like, Ooh, that is like a receding hairline, baby. Once you see that, there's no saving it. Okay. Infrastructure has rusted. Like, it might be a wrap for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
You guys might find this funny. I just Googled Kenny Pickett nickname, and apparently earlier this year, Cam Hayward was trying to push for people to call him Big Ken.
No.
I mean this with respect. I mean this with all heart, because I don't want Cam Newton to beat my ass. But this might be worth it. Cam, you don't get the fuck out of everybody's face with that bullshit. The what? Big Ken?
Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward said that. Big Ken. Yeah.
Cam Hayward said that.
Yeah.
Cam,
man, if I was a Steelers fan,
out of here
fan, that would piss me off so much.
What? That is the lamest nickname I have ever. I hope they roasted you for that one. I hope your seniority didn't protect you from what needed to happen. What?
He didn't just say that. He said that on national TV. That was on Good Morning Football when he said that.
We need to call him Big Ken.
I see why the Steelers ain't trying to give you no more money. Come on,
we
man.
need to cut this motherfucker.
You lost it. You lost it, man.
And you lost George Pickens when you said that, Cam. I just hope you know that. Like, George Pickens definitely lost respect for you.
He definitely just looked like
you just say anything, huh, bro? Like, really?
The dude who can't get me the ball?
Really?
The dude who can never get me the ball.
You just say anything. Okay, dog.
Just to put a cherry on this, you guys remember how that Steelers 49ers game went at the beginning of the year, right? When the Steelers lost like 33-0, like their offensive stats were like -2 or something crazy. The way Cam Hayward ended that interview is he said, Big Ken will have to come up large this season, beginning this Sunday against a tough San Francisco 49ers team.
Exactly.
Yeah, he did that to him.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Big Ken. He ain't even big.
Kenny
He
Small.
ain't even small. He's
We talking
6'2".
about Kenny
There is
Smallhand?
no advantage to calling somebody 6'2" big anything. It's just they're tall. Like they're like in the NFL, that's not even big. He's not small enough for it to be ironic. Like if you call Kyler Murray Big Kai, okay, that's kind of funny, I guess.
Yeah, he's
Big-
6'3", 217 pounds.
Yeah, he's just a regular size guy.
Hold
You know
on,
what
we
he
gotta
is? He's Just Ken. That's his nickname. Just Kenny. Like regular ass Kenny. Okay?
Hey, no, we
Medium
gotta get to the super
fries.
chat real quick.
Okay?
We gotta get to the super chat real quick.
He a medium fries mother.
Thank you. Professor Chaos said, Q, if we get a certain player, could you play me and Mrs. Jones during the vid? Who is he? Who?
I'm gonna need an elaboration on that.
Yeah, you gotta elaborate on that because now I'm curious. Which player are we talking about?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. I need more. You ain't got to super chat it. We'll look for it.
Me and Mrs. Jones? Phenomenal song, by the way. Phenomenal song.
Is this something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, if they get that guy,
You could tell you could already tell that we don't think they're going to be able to get him because we didn't immediately grasp it.
where the Super Bowl at?
I'll look that up. New Orleans. It's in New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
I'll be there. I'll be doing the show live from New Orleans the entire fucking season. Okay. Yeah, I will absolutely do that.
Man, if they could get that dude, I'd be talking crazy out here.
I ain't even gonna talk crazy. I ain't gonna talk crazy. If you got that, I ain't even gotta talk. It's like them little men who tried to fight Cam Newton. Bring it full circle, baby. We gonna bring it full circle. Look, if you got Chris Jones and Myles Garrett, you don't gotta talk shit. People gonna be mad at them for trying it. You tried to single team Myles Garrett. You deserve to have your quarterback go in the concussion tent. Like, imagine. No.
Chris Jones next to Myles Garrett. Oh my lord.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because Torrance Lee has a super chat saying, I agree with Damo that the Browns make a big splash at a defensive tackle and move up for Worthy. So,
listen, man. Domo's takes found a way to make it to the pod. Shout out Domo.
Hey, look.
Shout out my dog, man. Shout out my dog.
Damo kind of like Deion Waiters. He missed a lot. But boy, when he hit. Hey, look, he shoot 25%. But to him, it's just 1 out of 4, baby. It's like he shooting 250.
I'm gonna be real with Domo. He called Martin Emerson. He was 100% right about
Day
that.
one.
He called that one.
Day one.
I always give him his props.
Day
one.
one.
100% on that one. 100% on that one.
Also thought that.
Go ahead.
No, I ain't gonna put him out there, but you know, if you've been following long enough.
No, go ahead. Go say
He's been wrong about some of them. He'd been wrong about some. I've heard the spaces. Like, hey, we can't all bet on it. You know what I mean?
Have our misses, you know what I'm saying?
Well, look, here's the thing I like about Damo. He willing to take no crazy swings. And you know what, man? We don't need him to get on base. That's not what Damo here for. We need Damo to tell us that a grand slam might happen. And every once in a while, he hit that bitch.
Hey, you say, hey, 25% batting average, you know what I'm saying?
Jim Tomey made a career on that, baby.
That's not that bad.
Hey, Jim Tomey made a whole Hall of Fame career on that. Did he get an Hall of Fame? Yeah, Jim Tomey had a long career on batting 250. Okay, for hitting some homers.
Jim Tomey is in the Hall of Fame, yeah.
Yeah, Jim Tomey. What's his career batting average?
Let me see.
It can't be above 300. There's no way. He was not on base that much.
276.
Yes. Okay. There it is. Yeah. There it is. You know. Yeah. Double hit 250. You know.
Ain't no wrong with that.
No doubles. A lot of flyouts. You know, a lot of flyouts.
Some homers in there.
Some sack flies. Sometimes he takes the sack flies for sure. Hey, not just homers, some grand slams in there, dude. You know what I mean? Like bases loaded. Martin Emerson came in clutch. All right, that was a 3-run. That was a 3-1 shot in the 7th. That was a rally starter, like with no outs.
We needed that.
Rolled that with it to DeJuan Jones.
Hey, but the Xavier Worthy thing, I know that's his dude. I know that's who he wants the Browns to get. I just don't think they're gonna have an opportunity. I don't see them trading up to get anybody. I honestly think they're gonna trade down.
Can I interest you in Xavier Leggett?
I heard he was really bad at the Senior Bowl.
No, he wasn't bad at the Senior Bowl. He just was smaller than people expected. The one who was bad was Tez.
Yeah, I heard Tez was awful.
Yeah, Tez was bad.
When
Xavier was getting them passes from Pat Mahomes at the Senior Bowl, he was actually pretty good.
Okay.
So we need to draft Pat Jr.
Damn, I don't DTR already. That's crazy. I don't.
Hey man, they very similar players. They could teach each other. Honestly, DTR is still the better prospect. Much better athlete.
We got Soul Train with another super chat saying, "My favorite draft comp is any fast wide receiver with Tyreek Hill."
Wide receiver don't even gotta be that fast. They just gotta be short.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, "Can Jakeem Grant be like our little Tyreek Hill?" And that's when I was like, "These comps are dead. These comps are dead."
Yeah, we just gotta stop. We just gotta stop doing comps at this point.
I remember people saying that about Anthony Schwartz.
Now, see, that's a creatively bad comp because, like, you don't get there out of laziness, right? Like, you get there because you're looking at the 40 times. Except for, here's the difference. You know what position Tyreek Hill played in college? That's the difference.
Hey, Domo I guess Domo watching the pod because he heard your Deion Waiters. He heard your Deion Waiters comparison.
He was mad about the Deion.
No, he just tweeted us a video of Rising Stars duo Tim Hardaway Jr. versus Deion.
Look, man, when Deion was going, it was crazy. That's the thing. When Deion had moments that regular players of his caliber never had because he had the audacity to do it. Remember when he beat Dwayne Wade in Miami on a game-winning shot and then stood in front of Dwayne Wade in American Airlines Arena and told Dwayne Wade, "This mine in Miami." Deion Waiters, man. We need more Deion Waiters, dog. League Pass would be so much more fun if Deion Waiters was allowed to like have his team.
Hey, the Domo experience was so funny, and this leads right into our super chat from Ray Rags. He said, I just saw the tweet when Chops posted. Domo texted and said the Browns gonna trade to the first.
Hey man, who knows? He might be right.
He literally, the caption on the photo is Domo has lost his mind and it's not even free agency. Oh man. Hey Domo, if you're watching this, bro, they not trading to the first time. They not doing that.
Hey, look, I'm just glad he's not bad at JB Bickerstaff right now. Like
we can't do calf talk with Domo. Can't do calf talk with Domo.
He was furious.
He'd be so angry, dog.
I was just checking the time. I was like, "Ooh, they going at it."
He'd be so mad. It's like, hey man, the Cavs got the best.
Hey man, JB Bickerstaff must like offend his sensibilities. Like
he honestly, not just him. A lot of Cavaliers fans really.
There's something about that motherfucker that people just don't like.
It was that Knicks series. It was that Knicks series that got.
It was before the Knicks series. People was like this about him because the Knicks series was what got all of them to be like, see. Mm-hmm. But it was out there before the Knicks series. They look, and they not the only ones that feel this way about JB. Now I don't think JB's players feel this way about him. I think his players genuinely like him. But I know a group of people who don't like him. Referees. All right. People be wondering why the Cavs get terrible calls all the time. I'm like, they don't like this motherfucker, dog.
Hey, no, you know what? You know what? After watching basketball this season, I'm 100% on JB's side on this issue. It's the refs,
Hey,
dog. It's the refs.
it is. Hey, look,
the refs.
you're not wrong, Cole. You're not wrong.
The refs, man.
But here's what I'm saying. They just don't like that man. Like, they hate him. Darius Garland be getting his ass beat for like 3 years. No calls.
Did you see the Knicks? Did you see the end of the Knicks Pistons game yesterday?
No. Was it bad?
Bro, the most egregious no call I've ever seen in my fucking life, dog. I'm not a Pistons fan. I'm not a Knicks hater. Just as a neutral observer of the situation.
Knicks.
Listen, Asar Thompson, you know what? Find the video. Find the video. Find the video real quick. We're going to talk about it. Find the video because you got to see it.
Okay.
Because the no.
Oh, wait. It paused. It keep pausing where I think the foul. Oh, hold on. Damn.
Tackled him.
Oh, whoa. What? What? Ain't no fucking way. Oh, they called an L1. What?
Bro, I was in my room like, what the fuck? And he's standing right there, bro. He's standing right there when Asar Thompson gets tackled and didn't do shit.
Hey, dog. What's egregious about that isn't the no call, because maybe you just letting shit go. I find it egregious that you gave him the L1. Like, you let that go, and then you blew the L1. Like, you like, yeah, give him the L1 on the layup. We go, because he didn't strictly stay in his space. You just let a man get tackled. I could live with it. You just let the foul go. You gave him the L1.
I was like, bro, it was like, but this is the thing. You literally cost them the game. You cost them the game. Because if they call that foul, the game's gonna be over. They're gonna win the game. 100% gonna win the game. You cost them the game, dog.
Yeah, but it's the Pistons.
Even Stephen and Soul Trade just said it. Even Stephen A. Smith said, like, Stephen A. Smith, Knicks fanatic, Knicks homer, was like, nah, that was a bad call. That's a bad no call. That's terrible.
Hey, man. When you one of the worst teams in the league, they just assume you ain't doing it right.
I can't even roll with that, bro, because I'm like, hey, man, that's bad just in general. And I know the Pistons are ass. I get it. But that's one of the ones where, like, come on, bro.
This happens in sports. Like, we just talked about it with the Browns. You want to know why they didn't give us that first down? Because we was fresh off of a 3-year period where we weren't getting no first down. So the referee's like, nah, they ain't get it. That's cap. Remember that time we recovered a fumble and handed the ball to the ref and they didn't give us the ball because we sucked? Like, when you suck as much as the Pistons have sucked, they trying to go. You're never gonna get the benefit of the doubt, but that's kind of what pissed everybody off. Because, like, not only are you not getting the benefit of the doubt, you are going to be the recipient of some of the most egregious no calls you've ever seen in your life. And we know this because we've seen the football version of this. Mm-hmm. Like, when you historically suck, them motherfuckers don't care about your fairness. Okay? Especially after you got the one win that you care about. They don't care about that shit no more. Okay. Out of here.
But you know what? For Pistons fans, that's not even the most frustrating part. The most frustrating part is when it's going to be when the Pistons aren't bad anymore, but your reputation hasn't caught up to your reality yet.
Why are you so mad about 2018? That's what happened. We wasn't even asked. Why are we getting this stuff?
They honestly should have.
We got the no calls. We got the no calls until this year. Like, this year, we finally started getting calls. We're like, all right, they decent. Like, we'll call like a normal team. It took that long. It took that long for the Browns to get regular calls. Hey, dog, it's just gonna be like that. And if I am anybody with promise on that Pistons team, you ain't got to be there, bro. Leave. All right.
Just make sure y'all keep Cade. Make sure y'all keep Jalen.
No, Cade, get out of there. They're making you a loser. Okay.
He's
Hey,
so
get
good.
out of there.
He's
Get
so
out of there,
good,
dog.
He's
Get out
so
of there.
good.
They will look, man. There's a certain thing to this. You got to give these young dudes a sense of urgency in order to develop properly, or else they end up kind of being somewhat unserious for their whole career. Look at Devin Booker.
He's been to a finals and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You take it serious? Or do you always think about him as the guy who gets 70 points and loses? Twice.
He has got
Twice.
lost.
Twice.
Kobe would never.
Nah. Twice.
Kobe would
Twice. Twice. I don't even think either game was particularly close. Like, yes.
Wait, hold on, real quick. Deion Waiters' nickname on Basketball Reference is Kobe Wade.
Hey, Deion Waiters gave himself that nickname, man. Like,
shout out Deion Waiters. Oh, we don't have them kind of players no more. We don't have that.
We missed out, man. We don't know what it's like to have Ricky Davis in the league. But yeah, man. Yeah. But what were we talking about before that?
I don't know. We got sidetracked talking about Domo. That usually happens.
Dog, we was way off, Dabo. Greg, where were we at?
It's kind of hard to tell. We went on a journey. We were talking about Spencer Rattler and Pat Mahomes.
Our producer don't even know, man. we rub it off on Greg. It's not good.
I think this might have started.
We were talking about the no call. We were talking about how ass the Browns were. The Browns finally get no call. I don't know, dog. I feel like this is a good place to start to wrap it up.
You know what? We really threw us off. We were trying to figure out the Me and Mrs. Jones video.
Oh, yeah.
And then Quincy's camera died, and it's been a journey.
It's been a bit of a journey. We appreciate everybody who's came here and came on. We got time for some shout outs. Shout out Steel Toe Gang. Shout out parents. Special shout out to my parents of multiple children in the same household. Especially, it's tough playing zone out there. Colb, you can't be saying you don't have sources. Oh, Ray Rag says, Colb, you can't be saying you don't have sources and look forward to. Don't do that to me.
To me, it's not creation. Listen, man, I just drop a little tokens of information here and there. No sources, just tokens of information.
Just out here spreading conspiracy theories. And then people get mad at me when it don't happen. Okay.
As long as they're not getting mad at me.
For now. Man, you told me the Browns would trade up into the first round. I said no such thing.
I never said that. Quite literally said they were like.
Sometimes I've realized doing this long enough. Sometimes people just be mad at you, and they just want to be mad at you about something. You ain't even say it. You ain't even say that. They just mad about something and they need an avatar to be mad at. So they just chose you. Like, people get mad at me about takes I never came close to saying. And every time I ask them, when did I say this? I ask them for evidence. They bring me clips that aren't related to the thing that they said I said. Like, it's always like, hey, man. That's why I don't respond as much on Twitter no more, man. It's just not as fun. Like,
hey, I'm telling you right now, we get this pod to a certain level, I might just get rid of my Twitter altogether.
It'd be a good move. It would be a good move. Let me tell you.
Extremely smart.
Hey, nothing makes you want to go on Twitter less than when you just be saying some like sarcastic bullshit out and then it get 1,000 likes. And now you got a lot of people mad at your bitches.
Yeah.
My sense of humor is not good for Twitter, man.
When the tweets leave their intended audience, it never goes well.
Some dude cussed me out because I jokingly put up the PJ Walker for Pro Bowl thing. You're such a homer. I can't believe. By the way, people get unreasonably mad about PJ Walker. Have you realized this? Like, it'd be like nobody's doing anything, and then somebody comes in and talks about how PJ Walker might be the worst quarterback of all time. Like, what did he do? What did he do to you?
All he did was win games. When he was playing.
What did he do? What did he do to you? Like,
he was one throw away from being like 3-0.
Hey man, if he doesn't throw that interception against Jamal Adams, we might have to talk about him like we talked about Flacco.
Man, one throw. All he needed, one throw. That's it.
Man, shout out Cam Newton, man. I feel like a lot of people have been testing him in a lot of different ways over the last 2 months. You know, people testing him with his takes, people testing him physically. Like, why don't y'all leave that man alone? He retired. He want to do his podcast, smoke cigars, and interview reality TV stars. Let him do him. You know, why are we so bothered with Cam Newton right now? Don't get it. Let that man live. Hey. Also, give Jameis Winston a podcast. It's time.
Yeah, we need
did you hear that man talk about how he knew Mike Evans was special because he grew up near water?
I saw that.
I need that man's podcast.
I gotta watch that immediately now.
Like Mike different because Mike grew up near water. And them like water unforgiving. It'll kill anybody, black, white, indifferent. So them dudes who grow up near water, they different, man. They different. I'm like, he's not Aquaman, Jameis. Like, he made it seem like he grew up in the ocean. Like,
I know his teammates just be listening to him and just be staring, just like blankly, like.
Jameis is somebody. Look, you know what Jameis is? He's the dude you don't understand why he's like this, and it kind of annoys you when he's 26. But the second he turns 30, it starts working for him. You know, like when the second Jameis turned 30 and he was out of our eyes, so he feels a little old, it's like, okay, he's just an old man. But when he's 22 talking like this is just odd. Like once Jameis gets some gray hairs, he might run for president, dog.
Hey, Professor Chaos with the super chat. Shout out PJ Walker. Happy birthday. Is PJ Walker birthday? Shout out PJ.
I heard a rumor that he about to back up AJ McCarron in the UFL.
I feel like that's disrespectful.
I know, he a former MVP, man. Somebody get that man a team. I want to see. I want to be rooting against AJ McCarron.
Man, he just beat a team. He just beat a team that was that was in the Super Bowl. Come on, man. He better than AJ.
Hey, man. If the Browns would have made it to the championship and PJ Walker had to play, there's reason to argue that the Browns still could have won the Super Bowl against the 49ers. I'm just saying, you can make the argument. It's not like their starters finished that game either. Like, Browns could have got him easily with PJ, man. Tell me that's not the same exact roster they tried it out there against the Browns. Like, PJ could have got him. See, this is why we got to take certain things less seriously because, yeah, man, there's a world where PJ Walker is a Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP, mind you. Y'all know about big game PJ, man.
Salute to PJ, man. We appreciate the memories.
Hey, Jameis, do that 1 year in Cleveland, man. We need it. Look, easiest job you'll ever have, and the media will love you. You know what I mean? Look, the media gonna love any dude who's number 2 in Cleveland right now. They gonna be on your side, Jameis. They gonna be on Jameis. This is the stop. Come here for less money. Come here for 3.5, bro. Just for the vibes. Hey, can you imagine Mary Kay trying to write the puff pieces about Jameis?
No, I can't imagine it. I don't want to imagine it, actually. I really don't.
Jameis Winston has a Southern sensibility about him. So Hugh wanted AJ, and that's why he didn't want to play Chubb. Oh, because AJ McCarron was part of that. Mm-hmm. That boy was making dumb decisions. Okay.
You get closer. You get closer. You know what I'm saying?
Was making bad decisions. Bad decisions, man.
Oh,
It makes you question his entire career, to be honest.
yeah, literally everything. But shout out to the anime homies, especially y'all came off of that last.
Nah, they got enough. Got enough. They got enough.
I was about to say they came off of the last episode. You know
anime homies, y'all got it.
Shout out to Amy. Shout out to
Y'all
anime
got it.
homies.
Congratulations.
We did that for y'all. We did that for y'all.
Cole, are you watching the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I got through 3 episodes. I got through 4 episodes and I quit. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's real bad. It's real bad. I'm rewatching the animated series now because it was so bad.
You watching it, Quincy?
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yes.
Part of me wants to watch it just to get to episode 4 and be like, it's not that bad.
I know. I was to say. This is what y'all don't understand about Q. He will literally watch it just so he can lie and say it's not that bad and try to make me angry.
Not only will I watch it, I'll watch it in detail and make like compelling enough arguments where he would have to consider like if I'm being serious or not. I told that line.
You're greatly overestimating what's going to happen if we do this. Trying to make arguments for ass. Like, no,
like, I know they're talking about these changes to canon, but I actually like what they did. As a new viewer, it makes it more accessible.
I bet you did. I bet you do like this shit.
Man. Face the Sabler, you are not calling me a gaslighter right now. This man, Colb gaslit me on the whole Pat Mahomes thing. We had to do a whole podcast talking about it's Pat because Colb gaslighted me.
What you mean? I don't gaslight you.
You gaslight me all the time, man.
That's crazy that you would do that. Isn't Hugh back in the NFL with the Raiders? Is he with the Raiders officially?
There's no shot, dog. There's no shot, no.
I'm not.
No, he's not back with them. No, they didn't. We wouldn't know. We wouldn't know if Hugh that would be a front page story. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. 3 weeks ago, Raiders expected to add Hugh Jackson to coaching staff.
He did it again.
Please tell me this is incredible.
I don't think it's confirmed yet. I think that's a rumor.
That's from Vic Tufar of The Athletic.
Oh, that's about as credible as it gets.
Is that yeah?
Either him or Tashawn. Either one of them. If either one of them reported, yeah, that's just.
Yeah, this is after. Yeah, this is
Marvin Lewis is with the Raiders now.
That's Marvin Lewis is there. That's a homeboy hire for sure. But also, you got to remember, Mark Davis almost gave Hugh Jackson control of the Raiders.
Ooh.
Because he went 8-8 once.
And you said this happened 3 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm. So this is after they chose a new OC.
Oh, see,
it's happening, man.
Hey, Black History Month, he took advantage. You know what I'm saying? Took advantage.
I've never seen somebody fail at an HBCU up. Like, he is the Black Cliff Kingsbury.
He really is the Black. He's the Black Cliff Kingsbury.
Hey, you know what? Hugh Jackson out here proving anything is possible if you work hard enough.
You scam hard enough.
Hey, look, scamming still working, right? Like, he hit that pavement, baby. You know what? Hugh Jackson is an inspiration. You know, you ain't got to be talented. You ain't got to be good at your job. You know what your parents used to tell you? You got to be twice as good. Or you could be like Hugh Jackson and lie twice as hard. You know what I mean? Like, hey, maybe that's it. Maybe we got this backwards, right? We out here trying to get this on merit. Maybe we just got to start lying. Did you know QnColb got over 100 million subscribers?
Hey,
Mark Davis, do you want to invest in a podcast? Somebody get us in a room with Mark Davis so me and Colb can retire. Okay. Please, Mark Davis, hire us as consultants. I promise you, if you hired me as a consultant, things like hiring Hugh Jackson again won't happen, baby. Like, you fired him last time because he tried to start a coup. Like, do we not remember this?
He did try to start.
After your dad died, he tried to start a coup at that job, and you're about to hire him again. Mark Davis, man, hire your boy. Hey, Doc Rivers might get a job with the Raiders if this don't work out with the Bucks. How is this happening? Who's a bigger scammer, Cliff Kingsbury or Doc Rivers? I feel like it's Cliff because Cliff don't even win. Like at least Doc gets to like the 4 seed.
Hey, Doc got 08. Doc won a chip. You know what I'm saying? Doc won a chip at 08. So he got
the
that
Celtics won a chip that year for sure.
Hey man, he was the coach. He's the coach.
What did he coach? What innovation did he bring to the Celtics that year?
Vibes. He brought the vibes.
He brought the vibes. Yeah, Doc Rivers definitely brought the good vibes, right? Because all of his former players love him, right? JJ Redick can't wait to say good things about Doc Rivers.
Hey, to be real with you, I think JJ might be the only one who really do not like Doc.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Who else?
Did anybody on that Clippers team say, hey, man, like who defended him? Who defended him? His son and Pat Beverly, who will defend anybody for $13. Okay, Pat Beverly just a defense lawyer at this point. It don't even matter, right? So that's who defended him. Did Chris Paul defend him? Did Blake Griffin defend him? Did Jamal Crawford come out of nowhere to defend him? No, Jamal Crawford was on the pod talking shit about Doc too. Okay. Don't nobody like him.
It might just be the 08 Celtics. It might just be the 08 Celtics who like Doc.
Look at all them 40-year-old dude. The 08 Celtics. Rondo don't like that motherfucker. Like,
Rondo don't like Ray. Like, Rondo hate Ray.
Doc Rivers told Rick Carlisle, who was he about to trade Rondo to? However it goes, they didn't make the trade. Yeah, he told Rick Carlisle, I'm not gonna do this to you. You think they got a good relationship, Cole? Like, they don't got a good relationship.
Ooh, Rondo, man.
It took JJ Redick calling this man out profusely for his son to say anything. And I feel like if his son didn't work at ESPN, mum's the word, dog. Because ain't like his son was like he like playing for Doc Rivers either. Like, nah, man. There's evidence of people getting tired of Doc everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes.
You know he snaked Adrian Griffin for that job too, right?
This is who he is.
Snaked him.
Yeah. And you know what? We gotta watch the Bucks because they also hired Jason Kidd. So like they are clearly prone to the scam. Okay. Like, they hired Jason Kidd when he was dropping drinks on the floor and shit. Okay. Like,
I mean, hey, J Kidd, the Mavs coach right now. I think they on like a crazy winning streak, I think.
Yeah, we know how that's going to end. How that's going to end, Cole?
Oh, they play the Cavs today, don't they?
Yeah. They might beat them. But how's this going to end for the Mavs?
Second round out.
Maybe.
Depends on who they play first round.
How did it end for them last year? I believe it was in the lottery.
I was about to say lottery, I think. End of the lottery, something like that. But yeah.
You got Luka. And you in the lottery. Yeah, man. Scam. Okay. Scam. Scam. Hey, seriously. He's been on so many teams. James Harden ain't defend him. Joel Embiid ain't defend him. Ben Simmons for sure not going to defend him.
Ooh, Ben hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Ben hate him.
Who loves him? As much as Kevin Garnett talk about that 08 ring, he wasn't out there telling JJ Redick to shut his trap, was he? Okay.
Paul Pierce wasn't either.
Paul Pierce was busy. Okay.
Perk, I didn't hear Perk say nothing.
No, Perk ain't none. Perk on ESPN. He wasn't out there. Nah, JJ. Nah, he wasn't doing none of that.
Nah.
Who? Stephen A. Smith says he's personal friends with everybody. Have you ever heard him say that shit about Doc Rivers? Like,
ooh, yeah, man.
Who on Doc's side? Like,
Somebody said Doc divorced, so his wife ain't even.
That's crazy. Hey, dog.
Woo! Pink Buddy ENT, thank you for that.
That man been a head coach in the NBA since the 90s. Since the 90s, Cole. Name a former player that was on his side. He got 3 decades almost of coaching experience. Who was on his side that wasn't obligated to him currently, contractually, or related to him? Who was on his side? Hey, JJ could never talk about Pop like that. Okay? He could never talk about Steve Kerr like that. Okay?
Damn.
But he sure got away with it on Doc. Okay? That tells me. Just say it. That's sad.
Oof.
I don't feel like they like that man that much.
Yeah, Cavs got to make sure they get the Bucks in the second round. That's what they got to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, get that. Hey, man, I'm not going to lie. It's there for the Cavs. It's there. Because, like, we
What
really
do you
don't
mean
know.
when you say it's there. What do you mean?
You can get a little fluke run here.
A
You
fluke
might be
run
able to.
like the Eastern Conference Finals? A little fluke run like that?
Realistically, Eastern Conference Finals, but I don't think it's crazy to think you could fluke your way to the finals. Think about it like this, man. Look at the top 4 teams in the East. The unserious Sixers, the team coached by Doc Rivers, and the Celtics, who have been on the verge of historic collapses the last 2 years.
I actually think the Knicks are the 4 seed right now.
New York Knicks are a problem.
The
The New York Knicks are a problem.
That's a serious team.
But if we the 2 seed, we ain't got to deal with that. Miami will take care of that for us. We got to deal with that.
Ray Rags just sent a super chat saying, Doc ain't done ish since Tom Thibodeau left the Celtics after 08. Don't forget
True.
he fucked up the Tim Duncan T-Mac duo because he said family can't go on the plane.
That is also true.
You think T-Mac was going to defend him? Somebody asked T-Mac what he thinks about this.
Yeah,
Tim Duncan was like, nah, there's something off with him. Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan.
Doc just might be screwed, dog. I don't know.
Tim Duncan.
I ain't got nothing.
Tim Duncan.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Didn't want to go to Orlando. That's the most Tim Duncan place in the world outside of San Antonio. He was signed, sealed, delivered, Cole. And Doc ruined it. Crazy. I bet Tim's like, yeah, man, like, what's that about? Like, who does that?
I just don't get that guy, man.
That's what Doc makes you do. Who does that? Who does that? Tell me when you hear him in press conference, it don't sound like Hugh Jackson. Always got a reason for why he suck.
Always got an excuse.
Oh, yeah.
Always got an excuse.
Yeah. Be on TV talking about it ain't his fault. Brother, we saw you call a quarterback sneak at the 10-yard line.
Were you guys seeing these reports? I just totally missed these, that Hugh Jackson was almost the head coach at Morehouse. They were interviewing him. Like after Grambling State let him go. You guys see that? This was like a few weeks ago these came out.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
Morehouse, a Division III school. They don't give out. I don't believe they give out scholarships.
I don't think they do.
Hey, you.
He was apparently in the running, but they hired somebody else instead.
Good move. Good move. Good move.
Terrence Mathis.
Damn.
Hey, man, Morehouse got it together. They knew a scam when they saw it.
Heard that man's interview was like, no, we're good. We're okay.
Nah, they looked at I bet you the interview was good because he was great at the interview. The interview gonna be fire with you. the research is where you go.
Oh, and last year Morehouse only won one game, so they were really looking for someone to rebuild the program.
Hey, he was like, "Hey, don't nobody know about winning one game more than me." Okay.
Ooh, that was an easy one. That is an easy one.
You hire Hugh, baby. You might not win a game next year, baby. Like, hey, Hugh took a 2-win team to 1 win. It took a 1-win team to no wins. Like, hey, Morehouse, you thought you saw the bottom. Hire Hugh. Okay.
Damn, Deadspin. This is just funny to me. Deadspin had an article around the time saying hiring Hugh Jackson would be a huge mistake for Morehouse College. Not only is the iconic HBCU the last place he should be, Jackson is a joke of a coach who's never been good. That's just the headline.
All facts.
Yeah, man. And for Kolb to not have a suspicious bone go off in his body reading that. Like,
all facts.
tells you everything about that one.
Yeah, we're gonna send that one out. Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah. Nah, that's good. That's clear. Nah, send that. Put it on the top line.
You know what? We can schedule it out. You know what I'm saying? No notes.
Hey, that's rough. It's rough. My man got passed up for the Morehouse job and somehow ended up as a coach in the NFL. Hey, dog. This is as close to as hopeful if I came as 2008 in November when I thought anything could happen. Like, Hugh Jackson got a job in the NFL, man. What are you doing at home to achieve your dreams? Like, hey, if you can do it, I can do it, baby. Get me on the team. Like,
Man.
I just want to add to Terrence Mathis, who ended up getting the Morehouse job. His last few years of coaching experience has been he was an assistant coach at a high school.
Hey, man. Winner. He ain't been around all that losing. Nick, hey, he ain't had a winning record since the Obama administration. When the last time Hugh Jackson had a winning record? I'm not talking about finish with a winning record. I'm just talking about at some point during the season, he had a winning record.
Had to be the Raiders. Had to be when he had the Raiders job.
Jason Campbell was in the league, dog. Like, Jason Campbell had a future the last time Hugh Jackson had a winning football record as a coach.
Jason Campbell, former Browns QB. Jason Campbell.
Hey, got that ball.
He wanted them names on that long ass jersey that one dude got.
Oh, that year with the Raiders, they kind of had their own little 2014 Browns season. They started 7-4 and then ended the season 8-8.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if you went back and told Hugh, like when they were 7-4, this is as good as it's ever gonna get. Would he believe you? It will never get better than this. Like, you will never be credited with more than 7 wins in the season again. Like, hey, man, here's how we was talking. We was talking about him like he was Dan Campbell. Like, you know how we talked about Dan Campbell when he went around? Like, oh, he's a hot prospect and he was good when he was an interim. That's how we was talking about Hugh, man. Oh, man. Hugh stock died. And look, it's not all Cleveland's fault. We got something to do with it for sure, but it's not all Cleveland's fault. But we gonna edit all that. We done bash Hugh Jackson. We done killed some of these comps. We done found out that Kirk Benkirk. I was wondering why I was hearing a lot of Kirk Benkirk slander because I only know him as the San Antonio Brahmas backup quarterback. I was like, why is everybody mad at him? Now I know. Apparently he's putting out bad comps out there. And it makes sense because Corey Kennan was furious at him and he compared Drake May to Mason Rudolph. I can understand why he felt that way. Don't fight Cam Newton.
Please don't. Please don't.
Hey, man, like real talk, once you get past like 28, you really don't need to be fighting. It doesn't look cool. Like, It always
Outside
kind
of
of looks
extreme
sad.
circumstances, let's
Yeah.
put that out there. Outside of extreme circumstances, you don't need to fight nobody.
Yeah, outside of like obvious self-defense situations, but that's not a fight. That's a self-defense situation. You don't need to fight nobody. Look, it don't look good when we fight, man. Most of us not in shape. Right? It's been a good 5-6 years since our last fight. We don't need to do this. Look, we grown, man. It don't look good when we fight. Our butt crack be out. Like it be somebody crying.
All right.
Do you see that every time you see a stadium fight? What you see first? What you see first? What you see first? Like it don't look cool. It don't look cool.
Man.
It don't ever look cool. You don't ever look as cool as you think you're gonna look getting in that fight when you over 28. Shit looks sad. Okay. Like people fighting over 30 that's not like licensed to fight. It looks like depression. That's what it looks like. It looks like depression and midlife crisis. That's what it looks like. All in one. You ain't gotta fight. Just go away. You ain't gonna never see these people again, more than likely. You know, you gotta do it. You ain't gotta fight them. Especially
Don't fight nobody, man.
if that
Just chill out.
motherfucker played at the NFL. Especially if that man is Cam Newton. Don't fight that man. Damo, don't you fight Cam Newton, man.
Hey, Damo's crazy, but he ain't that crazy. You know what I'm saying? He ain't that crazy.
Hey, Damo, they're like, hey, he might talk bad about Martin Emerson and all bets might be off.
Now he might say something to Cam. He ain't gonna do nothing to Cam.
Hey, John Rivers, squash it, man. Squash it with me, Cole, dog.
McCall? Hey, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
Hey, man.
Hey, McCall. Hey, John better be looking over his shoulder.
Mike.
He might catch him slipping. One day.
Hey, man. It's tough. It's tough because that one's over with, dog. He caught the game-winning pass in the Super Bowl. Like, ain't nothing he do at that. Yeah, it's never coming back, bro. It's never coming back. But who the one dude got in the beef with John Johnson? We ain't got to say his name. Be careful, man. Be careful out there, man. Hey, Dustin Fox. Remember when that was? What dude? Hey, threatened to kill you? Hey. Gotta chill out, bro. I know you a former player too.
We gotta bring that one up. That one was hilarious, though. That one was funny.
Hey, man, he created 3 different accounts to threaten this man's life.
Legendary.
After a game. Like he was in his pads. He was in his pads still. Like the game ended, the tweet started. No, the game didn't even end. These tweets started during the game. Mm-hmm. Hey, he knew he was getting cut. He was going to make it worthwhile. But y'all have a great day. Have a better night. Peace.